racing through the tunnel cause I see the light. And I'm about to give it everything I got in spite of all of my fears and all of my tears. I'm about to switch it up and start to change the gears. Definitely go all out. Ain't no time for me to postpone and say not now. It's a downhill trip with no brakes, bruh. Know what I was doing, so I counted all the stakes, bruh. Dream catcher, I ain't planning on stopping, no hell nah. It's so crazy how from doing this like all the day, bruh. I'm so addicted to it that I can't give it up, bruh. It already got me hooked, no way of letting go now. Just so you know, bruh, I'ma chase it. Been running so long that I got shoes with no laces. Wishing of having a bunch of watches with a whole lot of different gold faces. Success coming soon and I can already taste it. Dream catcher, oh, it's bigger than you could ever imagine. So big that I'm wanting a mansion. Hope you're lucky enough that you could have one. It's a dream catcher, dream catcher. Oh, it's bigger than you could ever imagine. So big that I'm wanting a mansion. Hope you're lucky enough that you could have one. I said dream catcher, dream catcher. Oh, it's bigger than you could ever imagine. So big that I'm wanting a mansion. Hope you're lucky enough that you could have one. I said dream catcher, dream catcher. Oh, it's bigger than you could ever imagine. So big that I'm wanting a mansion. Hope you're lucky enough that you could have one.
Let me hear it again, show 'em how the town does it. When we come through, just win, baby, what we gon' do? Got the other team shaking cause we hitting hard. R.I.P. Jack Tatum and R.I.P. Al Davis. Never been a traitor, I'm a Raider, 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 Raider. Oakland Raider, 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 Raider. I'm a Raider, 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 Raider. Oakland Raider, 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 Raider. All I make is highlights, that was Crabtree. Whole crowd do the wave, do the max beat. And my favorite 32, that was Jack T. I look better in a silver and a black tee. When you thought we fell off, Raiders right back. Only one eye and win, eye patch. At the Coliseum, about to make the fire crack. All I make is hard hits like Khalil Mack. Yeah, D-Card, we stars. Bo Jackson, jersey number 3-4. I'm a Raider, Oakland Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. I'm a Raider, 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 Raider. Oakland Raider, 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 Raider. I'm a Raider, 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 Raider. Oakland Raider, 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 Raider. I'm a Raider.
The king and his men stole the queen from her bed and bound her in her bones.
Some other coaching news, guys, and this is a little bit more interesting. The Raiders hired former Ohio State offensive coordinator, college head coach before, Chip Kelly, as their new OC.
I'm excited to see, what that offense looks like this time around in the NFL.
I think that this is going to be a really good shift that I think can really propel this team in a different way that we haven't seen in several years.
But the one thing I know about Chip Kelly, the dude knows how to run an offense. We saw that with Ohio State. We saw what he did with Oregon, and bringing him, that's a massive get. That is a massive get.
Everywhere he has gone has put points on the board. And so I think to have kind of that mad scientist in the lab here with the Raiders. Huge W for the Silver and Black.
I've been covering Chip since he was at Oregon. One of the most innovative offensive minds, and he said it. He's like, when Pete Carroll gives you the call, you come.
Now you have Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly. This looks really solid. The foundational base of this particular coaching staff as they're putting it together.
This is one of the most fascinating off seasons that I'm looking forward to. Pete Carroll, John Spytek coming in.
Pete Carroll will be the new voice in Las Vegas. He will be a respected voice in Las Vegas because of all the things that he's already accomplished.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.
Welcome to the Just Win Baby podcast.
Yo, what is going on, Raider Nation, man? What is going on, YouTube, man? Welcome to a special edition of the Just Win Baby podcast, man. Typically, this is a Friday night show. Me and my wife went out for our anniversary this past weekend, so I didn't get on board with a lot of my guys and talk about the draft. So we're doing it tonight, man. Nutty Raider Nate should be with us. I sent the links out to quite a few other people. We'll see who pulls up, man. But my boy Jeff is here with us, man. So we'll start off the show. What's good with you, Jeff? Saludos, bro.
What's up, man? What's up? I can barely hear you.
Oh, you can barely hear me? Let me see.
Yeah.
All right, how about now?
That's better.
What's good with you, though, bro?
Nothing. How you been?
Man, you know, my body hurts, bro.
I've been from that long hiking weekend.
Yeah, bro. I didn't get out of fucking bed till like 3 o'clock. We woke up, took the kids to school, bro, and I went straight back to sleep. Woke up, boy, stiff as a board. My motherfucking calf muscles feel like they're like peeling off the bone, dude. Like it's like. Hey, mind you though, bro, that was like.
I did a little video this afternoon, and you were like, "Man, I am in so much pain."
Bro, I gotta
walking like that. Fuck yeah.
Once we get some more people in here, man, I got a couple videos, bro. I'll show you guys the video. My girl recorded me fucking falling in the snow, walking down the snow. I got the video. I'll show you guys that. I'm sure you guys will get a good laugh out of that. And then like I said, I was in the middle of Yosemite, boy, so I was screaming Raiders, bro. You could just hear it echoing, bro, like all through the fucking mountains. It was sick.
That's cool. That must be cool.
Yeah. So anyways, man, much love, everybody in the chat, man. I see you. In case you guys, because Jeff don't see unless he went from the YouTube side, man, I have turned all color off for the screen, bro. So
I went and looked real quick.
Do not adjust your television. I was gonna troll at first. I ain't gonna lie. Like I wasn't gonna tell y'all shit. I was gonna make you guys think your TV was broke and all kinds of shit. As we got Ern in the building. You feel me? I was gonna sit here and let y'all think y'all TV was broken, but you know I couldn't do that to you guys. You feel me? So don't adjust your TV screen. It's all black and grayed out, man. Real Raider shit, man. We throwing this shit all the way back. You feel me, to the greatness of the Raiders. And for a lot of y'all, man, that seen that intro, bro, like I pretty much just manufactured some clips, bro, and I don't know what it is, bro. That fucking intro, every single time I watch that shit, be giving me chills. You feel me? I made that intro, bro, literally the day before K'Lavon Chaisson went to the Patriots. I was so fucking pissed. One of the sickest plays I ever seen by a defensive lineman make when he picked off that screen. But yeah, man, before we get into the chat, man, what's good with you though, Ern?
I can't call it, man. Just sitting over here, just the last couple of days, been processing the draft and everything, the players that we got. So I don't know. We'll get into that later. But what you guys been up to?
Shit, man, I ain't been doing shit. I went to Yosemite. I went there on Friday. Then we hiked up Mount Yosemite. It's like 4 miles up and then 4 miles down, bro. I'm burnt, bro. And I ain't never went hiking. And it was snow, bro. It was snowing up there, so I'm all slipping and sliding in the snow and shit. Like I told Jeff, bro, I got a video to break the ice later, bro. We get some people up here. My girl recorded me. She was like, you gonna, she was in her mind, she's like, he's gonna fall. Watch it. Cause I had already failed, bro. And she had the videotape out, bro, and caught me at the perfect time as soon as I ate shit right in the snow walking down the hill, bro. So I told my wife, bro, I was like, that's the epitome of a picture lasts longer. You feel me? You know the saying, they say take a picture because it lasts longer, but this is a video. I was like, bro, when we get older, we gonna be on our rocking chair like, look at your ass fell in the snow. Remember that?
Yeah.
So no, man, it was cool. Like I said, bro, I ain't never.
You just created a lifelong memory. That's what you did.
Exactly, bro. Like my wife had never seen the snow, dog. So it was cool. I wanted to take her up there to see the snow and shit. She got to fucking make a snowman, all kind of shit, bro. It was cool. Like I said, I had seen the snow for one time before when I was real young, but like I ain't never went hiking in the snow. That's the first time I ever went hiking, bro, and I was burnt. So, you know, at the end all be all, man.
Come on here in December and January and February. You'll love it out here.
Yeah, this shit was cool. So before we get into the draft, man. We'll try to we'll give a quick shout out to everybody in the chat, man. If as you guys pull in, man, I appreciate you guys take 2 seconds to hit the like button. We'll pretty much just go over the draft. We'll give you guys our thoughts on said picks, and then I obviously I try to whip out a couple articles and see what some of these professional scout guys think about a lot of these guys, man. So we got Richard Lyon in here, man. Saludos to you, bro. Appreciate you for pulling up. Bruce Willis, always a pleasure, my boy.
Everybody in the chat.
Gord Peterson, nice to see you, bro. Always a pleasure. Al's Ghost in the Heezy. Been a minute, Al's Ghost, bro. The greatness of the Raiders is coming back, boys. SoCal Sal, what's good with you, bro? Saludos. Hopefully you're doing well. We the people, my guy. You know what time it is, bro. We got fucking all eyes in the building. Shout out to you, man. I was in Fresno yesterday. I tried to rub elbows with a couple of motherfuckers, and of course they was scary. Of course they was scary. Man. Nah, no luck.
Surprise.
Right? Surprise. It is what it is, though. Marcus Banks, bro. Saludos with you, gang. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Always a pleasure to see all you guys, man. I also have a poll in the chat, man, about if you guys thought this was a successful draft. I think it's head scratching for a lot of these guys, man, that I've seen. At least even Raider fans, bro, thinking that this fucking draft is like motherfuckers like it's a head scratcher draft. I don't think we got better. Like y'all tripping. What up, Wild Turkey? Motherfuckers obviously wasn't watching the Clee Farrell drafts and the Alex Leatherwood drafts and the Damon Arnett drafts and the John Abram drafts.
Like, oh, this was a good draft.
I was up in Mount Yosemite, bro. I was in Yosemite all weekend. What up, J-Dog? Saludos, bro.
Okay.
Always a pleasure to see you guys. S.A. Big Dog. Saludos. It's good with you, boy. Always a pleasure. Anthony Estrada. If you guys are all doing well, like I said, man, hit the like button. If you haven't, Anthony Provencio in the building. So, y'all seen us. We was live over here when we did the Ashton Jeanty pick. You feel me? The first pick, Raiders take Ashton Jeanty, number 6 overall. I felt like it was the obvious pick as long as he didn't get taken before us. I know there's a lot of Raider fans that were like, they were kind of, a lot of guys were on the Armand Mimbu, kind of train, like, oh, we should probably address the trenches or whatever. And you feel me? Like I can understand both sides of it. You feel me? But
hey, I got a question. So Raider Jeff, I'm glad to see you on this panel because I happen to be watching the replay of you guys' stream when we drafted Ashton Jeanty, and it seemed like you was upset, and I was just wondering why.
Here's what I wanted. Initially, I wanted, if Graham was there, I wanted us to take Graham. So once Graham got picked, I knew that was out the window. So I knew we were going to pick Jeanty, but in my heart, I made it known on a few shows already, so it's out there. Everybody knows this. If it wasn't going to be Graham, I was totally in favor of trading back a few picks, getting an extra second-round pick, grab our running back then, but with that first-round pick that we would have had, I would have rather gone with the best overall offensive lineman at that time, whatever was there out of who was available. Because I figured we need to shore up the offensive line before we go and try and get a running back. Because what good is a running back if we can't secure another guy for the line to help Geno Smith to be able to throw the ball, have time to throw the ball, and to open the holes for the running back. But obviously they had a plan. Their plan was to let's get Jeanty because of who he is and what his abilities are. And they had a plan on what they wanted to do. They knew who they were targeting because they didn't waste any time on any of our picks. Like, you didn't see us use the full clock. I mean, it was like as soon as it was our pick, boom, we were picking. So what they did in the third round, if you saw my reaction in the third round, complete opposite. That's why my reaction was the way it was.
That's a fair answer. I thought it was maybe because you wanted Mimbu or something. I was like, bro,
No.
I got to call this dude out, bro. But
Not
since you say trade back to game picks and still accomplish what we accomplished, I get what you're saying. But I just don't think that we would have found another Genty anywhere in this draft, bro.
No, more than likely no. But let's put it this way. The other way I equate this is if there was only 4 running backs that were worth a shit in this draft, and Genty was one of them, and he's a tout, he's selected or picked to go, predicted to go in the first 6 picks or whatever.
Oh, we got the nutty one.
By all means, don't get him. But when there's this many running backs, I was fine with grabbing one of them in the second round. But with what we did, I mean, a few hours later, if you saw me, my attitude had changed, and I had kind of come to grips with it.
Okay.
Made up for it on Friday, though.
That's cool. You had a good explanation. At least you could explain yourself. A lot of people you come on here and ask them about it, they don't have no explanation. So, hey, that's good shit.
Yeah, it's usually I just didn't like them.
Right.
What's good, Nutty Raider Nate? Saludos, bro. What's good with you, man?
What the fuck are you so happy about?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm glad to see my guys. What's up? What do you mean? Are you happy?
Nah, you came on here cheesing. I was like,
I know, look at him. He's still he either just got laid or he just had the biggest roll. He had to smoke the biggest roll up he could have possibly smoked, and now he's on camera. Look at him. Like a little kid.
Hey, real talk. I haven't smoked in a week. I'm kind of a little detox. I got something lined up. I'm trying to get. So I've been taking a little break. But yeah, I'm a little high on life for sure.
You trying to get that probation officer job? That's what you're trying to do.
Nah, fuck that. It is a new job though. Yeah, you're right, Aaron. It is a new job for the county. Yeah.
Yeah, I already know. I knew it was something having to do with the county, bro. That's the only thing the motherfuckers just stop smoking weed for.
Yeah. Try to level up. I'm trying to get like you, bro. Yeah.
So, anyways, what's your guys' what was your thoughts on well, you weren't up here with us, Nate. What was your thoughts on Ashton Genty, bro?
Hey, I wasn't against it. I had my preference. I mentioned it. I had my preference, but it is what it is. My guy did go right after our pick, and just like Jeff, I wanted Mason Graham. I was all in on Mason Graham. We were 1 pick away. I think the Raiders wanted Mason Graham as well, and then they kind of had to pivot
to be honest with you.
And they had to pivot last second. So that's just it fell how it fell, and I'm not mad. Is our offense going to be better? Yeah, it should be a lot better. So.
A lot better.
But I'm still sticking with it. I wish we would have addressed the offensive line a little sooner. That second trade back killed me. I feel like we left some good talent on the board, and yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't. We'll get into the second round and shit and the third round and shit. But yeah, I wasn't with any them back-to-back trade outs, bro. Them back-to-back trade outs. I was starting to get irritated. Like I get it. You kind of have to understand it from a Raiders perspective. And what I mean by that is that the Raiders have drafted bad for so long, bro. It's like they got this new regime. If they want to try to be the future of this team, bro, they got to acquire as many picks as they can to get as many good players on this team. You know what I mean? So sometimes you may have to give up, a little bit of talent to acquire, give up one player to try to get 2. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what they're trying to do, because I think it was when Telesco took over, he said there was only like 40 players that were under contract, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's terrible. And when you go into an offseason program, you have 90-something players, bro. So that means they had to get 50 fucking players, bro. You feel me? And that narrative has kind of changed. You feel me? Because we drafted well in the last couple of years. And if we can do that, we can do shit like pull the trigger on some of these better players. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't tripping too much in the second round, bro, because the 2 receivers I wanted, we'll get into that later, they were gone already. But pretty much, I think Ern was up here with us. Ern, final thoughts on the Genty pick? Because I know you was up here when we did it live.
The Genty pick knocked it out the park. That's a Barry Bonds home run. I mean, a fucking what up, Charm City? Home run out to the bay, bro. It's got motherfuckers out there swimming in canoes to go chase the ball and shit. That's how much of a home run that is.
I'm just glad, bro. Like, the Raiders are finally starting to do. I won't say the good thing, right? Because we don't know how any of this shit's gonna pan out. But the competent thing, right? Like I've made this analogy before. We're not sitting at the kiddie table no more, bro. We're starting to sit at the big boy table when it comes to the National Football League. And just like Al Davis says in this shit, you feel me? First you get great coaches, then you get great players. You feel me? Our coaching over the last couple of years has been shit, bro. You feel me? Like, we haven't had good coaching. Now we got some good coaches. You feel me? Now we gonna bring in some good players. You feel me? Now we gonna let the chips fall as they will. You feel me?
And it looks like we got a fucking front office. It looks like they know what they're doing. I mean, only time will tell, but it sure looks that way.
Well, it looks like we're gonna finally have an offense that has, playmakers on it that can complement one another, bro. You feel me? Like,
let's get an identity. That's the big thing.
Yeah, let's not get it fucked up, bro. Like, Brock Bowers was having to do all that shit he did last year with damn near no running game, dude. He had no running game, dog. The defenses were literally game planning their whole shit to stop him. They're not gonna be able to do that now, dude. With Ashton. They're going to have, bro, as soon as you try to put 8-9 guys in the box and you leave Brock Bowers one-on-one with one of these safeties or one of these fucking linebackers, bro, because of the threat of having Ashton Jeanty, bro, it's crazy. And then now we got more speed at receiver, which we'll talk about, bro. Like, bro, we got a quarterback.
I'm absolutely fucking, over the moon excited about the Tennessee pick. We'll talk about him.
Yeah, that dude's a beast too, bro.
Super excited about that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When it was our pick at number 6, because of who was still on the board, meaning Shedeur Sanders, I was nervous. I thought we were actually gonna end up taking him because he's a guy I didn't want because I don't think he's that good. I still think Jackson Dott's a better quarterback than him. What? I didn't want him, and as soon as we didn't pick him, I'm like, okay. But when he once he got past Pittsburgh, I'm like, this son of a bitch is going to fall into the second round because there ain't nobody else that needs a quarterback that's going to take a chance on him at that point. I'm like, he's going to fall to the second. And then when the second round started, I thought for sure Cleveland was going to take him. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell's going on? And then Pittsburgh passes him again. So it's like when we skipped over him at number 6, I was like, thank God, because I'm glad we didn't. I would have taken Jeanty in a hot beat over him. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If we could have got him in the 3rd or 4th round, I would have been super happy. That's the only thing that I think we were missing in the draft was Shedeur.
I would have took him in the 5th.
Yeah, I would have took him. I would have took him with one of them 4th round picks and beyond, bro. For sure.
I would have took him in the 2nd, honestly.
Yeah,
the thing is, we still have 2 cents. And at that point, we only had 1 second round pick, so we had to hit the 2nd round pick.
Yeah.
So grabbing
I
him.
I don't even know that we hit the 2nd round pick, bro. This dude's player comp is Jordy Nelson, bro. It's like
shit. Jordy Nelson in his prime was a fucking beast.
Jordy Nelson in his prime for 1 year was a good player. Bro.
For 1 year, earned for 1 year for real. Jordy Nelson was a multiple-time Pro Bowler for several years in Green Bay, bro.
Green Bay, yeah.
How many years do you remember him being that guy?
Almost every single year of him being in his prime. He was the best. He was the best white boy receiver in the NFL, like the only white boy receiver in the NFL that was cooking, bro. It was him and Greg Jennings, bro. They was fucking cooking. They had him, Greg Jennings, Randall Cobb, bro. They was fucking cooking, bro.
Bro, if you give me a couple minutes, I'll probably think of about 25 receivers that I would say were better.
I mean, yeah, probably. I'm not saying he's one of the best receivers of all time. I'm just saying he was a good receiver in his prime, bro. I would say he was an above average receiver for sure, dog.
But okay, so what I'm really trying to get at is if his player comp is Jordy Nelson, that's a possession receiver. Jakobi Meyers is a possession receiver. So like that's my only question mark is like, really? We're going starting receivers as possession receivers? I mean, you're supposed to have 1 and 1. You're supposed to have a playmaker in the possession. I mean, so that's my only confusion.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that. And I did some there wasn't really many receivers, bro, since we're in this round now, bro. There really wasn't that many receivers, dog. After I wanted Luther Burden, bro. I wanted Luther Burden or Jaden Higgins, bro. You feel me?
Yeah.
And both of them got took, bro. You guys see how mad Luther Burden looked when he got drafted, bro? Like, he looked sick. I think he went to the Bears, bro. He looked like he was gonna cry, dude. Like, I've never seen.
What the fuck he mad about, bro? The Bears are gonna be a good young up and coming team.
But it's because it's Chicago, man. And Chicago, the teams aren't known for really throwing the ball there. You know what I mean? So, I think.
They shoot like a motherfucker outside. I just heard about 12 gunshots.
Chicago had a good draft. I'll tell you, who had another good draft was fucking Philadelphia.
Philadelphia always has a good draft.
Yeah, but even more so this year because now they've got that luxury where they're not having to draft for need. They're drafting for depth. Like a lot of these guys they picked are probably not gonna start. But God forbid any of their starters go down. They've got like the perfect replacement already that they just drafted type of guys. You know, I mean, they only got better. They only improved their team again.
They have that luxury, Jeff, because they built their team the right way from the inside out with the trenches first. And
I love their GM. I wish he was Oz.
Yeah, Howie Roseman, bro. I've been giving him a pat on the back for years, dude. Howie Roseman's probably the best general manager in the NFL, dude. Yeah, he's
GM of the decade so far.
Yeah, bro. He's like this year's fucking or this fucking generation's the dude from the Ravens. What's his name? That built that team. He's almost like him, Ozzie Newsome.
Ozzie Newsome.
Yeah, that dude's a beast.
Howie Roseman is the Bob Myers of the NFL. The dude that built the Warriors team.
Yeah. So, anyways, before we continue in the second round, man, let's get the chat's thought. I want to get everybody's thoughts on that first round pick. Give us a grade in the chat on Ashton Genty
A letter grade,
yeah,
with a plus or minus on it.
Yeah, plus or minus on that joint. If we get into Jack Bech, so like I said, bro, like I wanted Burden, I wanted Higgins. As we'll talk about the draft though, the wide receiver later, which kind of made me a little bit more happy. You know what I'm saying about this pick. But this guy, one thing I will tell you about Jack Bech is that fucking. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Now we do.
Okay. The one thing I will tell you about Jack Bech, dude, is he is a blue chip player, bro. He's a smart guy with a good fucking head on his shoulders, bro. He's coming. Is it Jeff? I think it's Jack. No.
No, I'm saying it's tough.
Jack.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
And it's Bech. It sounds like Besh.
Okay.
It's spelled Beth.
So the background that I've seen from him, bro, he looks like. From what I've seen, he's a dog, bro. That's the first thing. I don't know if you guys seen his when he was asked about about being drafted. The first thing he said is that they getting a dog, bro. Jack Bech, whatever the fuck his name is, he was actually a transfer portal receiver that came from LSU. And at the time in LSU, he was playing with receivers that were first round picks and Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. And at the time before he got transferred before he got transferred to LSU, he was the best receiver on that team out of those guys that I just mentioned that were former first round picks. The guy might not seem the most athletic guy. But one thing I will tell you, bro, he's a 50-50 guy, bro. Like Jakobi, you can say he's a possession guy, but Jacoby's not really that tall, bro. I think Jack Bech's like 6'2", almost 6'3". You could throw the ball up to him. He's a great outside receiver. He can block well, and I think that's another thing.
They're about the same size, bro.
They are?
Yeah.
Could have swore Jack Bech was a bigger guy.
He might be a little thicker. Pause.
I think he's more of I think he's stronger, definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely stronger.
He ain't gonna take no shit from nobody either. That's the thing with him.
He's a tough Cajun white boy. Yep.
Yep. I'll tell you what, his backstory's awesome too. I mean, it's sad. But...
Oh yeah. He's a willing blocker.
Jakobi's 6'2", 201.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I didn't know. I honestly didn't know Jakobi was that tall, bro.
I didn't either.
I thought he was a little dude, bro. So okay, yeah. Jack Bech is 6'2". Okay.
Yeah, so the same size.
Yes, but 6'2" is not bad height though, bro.
The kid from Tennessee. As far as receivers, the other guys were midgets last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like I said, it's a high character guy, blue chip guy. Like I said, Jeff was getting into a little bit of his backstory, bro. He's got a very sad backstory. His brother was killed at the Mardi Gras terrorist attack, or not Mardi Gras, the New Year's event in New Orleans a couple years back when that terrorist dude blew through the crowd and killed a bunch of people. Oh, it was this year. Okay, yeah, his brother was killed in that, bro. So, you know, he's got a pretty sad story. But like I said, I like him, bro. At first I was scratching my head. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? But then I looked at some of his film, dude. He doesn't drop passes, bro. He doesn't drop passes.
His entire career.
Yeah. He does not drop passes. He's sure-handed, bro. He gets open. I like him, bro. Like I said, it's not the sexy pick, but I like the pick, bro.
See, the Raiders don't pick sexy picks. That's the thing. Like Al Davis's picks back in the day, they weren't really sexy picks. They were these type of players, these gritty type guys. You know, this is a flashback type pick. You know, for like old school Raiders, this is a guy that will, if he's gonna get into a fight, he's gonna probably win. Type of guy, you know.
I was gonna say this sounds like a Ty Christensen type of guy. Super tough, not super athletic, but super tough and sure-handed.
So we got a whole bunch of A+ for that Ashton Genty pick.
Christensen was weird, man.
That was my mom's favorite player when I was growing up.
Yeah, he was a great player. No, don't get me wrong, but man, he was weird, man. There was one weird dude. Rest in peace, brother. But man,
number 46.
Yeah, wasn't he? Oh no, that was the other dude that. Or no, that was Matuzak, who was the dude in the Goonies.
Oh, Sloth, yeah.
Yeah, I never even knew that for real, dog. I never even knew that. Yeah.
Baby.
Okay.
He wears the Raiders t-shirt in the movie.
What up, Jolie? Saludos.
Yeah.
Damn, Jolie gave. Hey, Jolie, is this a grade on Bech or Bech, or is this a grade on Ashton Genty? That can't be a grade on Ashton Genty. That's got to be Bech.
I know he's not giving that as a overall grade.
Because Sal's got an A+ on Genty, All Eyes, Wild Turkey, Gord Peterson, Richard Lyon,
Yeah.
2 cents.
Let's grade each pick. When you put your grade, tell us what you're grading it for.
Yeah, as we get through these picks, once we're done giving our thoughts on the pick, then we'll drop a grade for you guys in the chat. And just to put a little narrative on Jack Bech right here, All Eyes says Bech ran a 4.5 40 and Jakobi ran 4.6. So he's a little bit faster too. He's got 4.5 ain't slow when you're 6'2", damn near 6'3". You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna find guys like we got in the later part of the draft, bro. Those big guys that can run like he can. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are fucking stallions, bro. You feel me? Like, that guy can run with the wind, bro. Like the old school Raider announcer used to say.
Those guys are unicorns because they're so rare.
Yeah, there you go. So
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Nate. I've been rambling anyways. I was just gonna throw it around.
I was gonna say that quarterback / wide receiver we got in the 6, he's fast.
He's faster. He's got a 5.39.
Yeah, that white boy.
Yeah.
Tommy Malott.
I'm getting ahead of myself though. Keep going, Banter.
No, you good.
Yeah, we'll talk about him when we get there.
Like I said, at the end of the day, bro, what's your guys' final thoughts on Jack Bech before we move on?
Baby Ruth.
Super
I like him.
hopes.
I'm happy.
I don't know a lot about him, so my expectations are a C+. But I figure if I set my expectations somewhere in the middle and he, puts a B+, then I'll be super pleased. So, yeah, not expecting much. I'm expecting a C+, and just hoping for the best.
If there's one thing he does, bro, he adds another quality receiver in a receiver room that was completely lacking, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I love Trey Tucker, you feel me? But he's very limited in what he can do. You know what I mean?
I think Trey Tucker's days are numbered now.
His days are numbered. I feel like he's a one-trick pony, honestly.
Yeah, if Trey Tucker, like, I feel like Trey Tucker he might be a one-trick pony, bro, with that 4.27 speed. You can't shake a stick at that. You know what I'm saying? So if he got held back last year, bro, because we didn't have no quarterbacks that can throw the ball deep. This is going to be a year where we're going to see what Trey Tucker brings to this table. Because I think he'll get a lot more opportunities than the Dante Thornton kid, whatever his name is, that we took later from Tennessee. I think they're probably going to bring him slowly in, but I think this is going to be the year where they're going to try to see what they can get out of Trey Tucker, bro. Because Trey Tucker's got damn near generational speed, bro. 4.27 is nothing to fucking shake a stick at, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
if he doesn't stick it as a wide receiver, then I'm fine with him doing returns.
Yeah, kick returners and punt returns and shit. Yep.
At speed, why wouldn't you?
He bobbles the ball too much. I don't want. Yeah. Now, if he doesn't pan out, he doesn't pan out. Because guys, remember last summer, they were talking about him and AOC spent all of the summer together, and There were all the clips for him and AOC, and he was catching dimes, and it looked like he was going to break out last year, and it never panned out. I mean, granted, they ended up starting Minshew and all that, but I don't know. I'm not too big on Tucker this year.
Oh, he said that was whole draft. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge Trey Tucker fan, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I've been rocking with Trey Tucker since we got him. I know his rookie year, we've seen a little bit out of him. You know what I'm saying? We've seen a little bit what he could be. Yeah, he bobbled some passes for sure. You know what I'm saying? But when we drafted Trey Tucker, bro, in all honesty, we overdrafted Trey Tucker, bro. Trey Tucker was like a 6th round projection, 7th round, bro. He was only going to get drafted because of his speed. We took him in like the 3rd round. So that's not his fault, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like you got to give him a chance to at least work on it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think we got to see enough from him last year to just throw out a 3rd round pick, bro. Like 3rd round picks aren't something you just want to fucking cut, bro, and throw to the curb. You know what I'm saying? Those are valuable picks. So we got to try to at least try to get something out of him. I do think with that speed and with Chip Kelly's knowledge of offense and the way he can just manufacture fucking yards, I think this might be a big fucking year for Trey Tucker, bro. Because I think you might see what Chip Kelly's gonna do this year with Trey Tucker. I think is what you guys will see what Andy Reid did with Tyreek Hill, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I think that the big guy, the rookie, I think they're gonna ease his way in. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is gonna be. I think if unless something drastically happens and one of these receivers beat out Trey Tucker, I definitely think our starting receivers is gonna be Jakobi Meyers, Trey Tucker with Brock Bowers, bro. And then when they run a slot receiver, bro, you feel me? It might be one of these younger kids. You feel me? Because there's just not that much talent in this receiver room, bro. And that's the reason why we had to go out and not only get one, but get quite a couple receivers. You feel me?
So what's your grade on the Genty?
Me?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
On the 1st round pick, yeah.
That's an A++++, bro. I'm like, we hit that bitch like a motherfucking Barry Bonds through the motherfucking Bay Area, boy.
Pull out your knee pads.
That part, boss.
So I'll give you mine, and then I'll explain when we get to a certain part of the draft process here. But I went B+.
Oh, and Genty?
Yeah, and then I'll explain further on why it goes up. Because it does go up for me. So, but I'll explain when we get to that.
Oh, shit, we got our boy from across the pond, Raider legend himself, Afakasi Salos.
Afakasi, what's up, homie?
What's up, brother?
You're muted. You're on the mute.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, we hear you now.
Got you.
What's going on, gang? How are we, brothers?
Yes, sir.
Shit.
Can't call it.
What's happening?
No, I went B+ on Genty when we picked him because of what I
Stone Cold
explained to
Raider?
you earlier. Why I didn't want Genty and my reaction from Thursday night. And my grade will change as we continue this talk tonight, and I'll tell you when we get there.
What up, Pete?
Up and why. So.
Okay, for sure. What's
So
good with
so Afakazi, you got here nice and early, so we were just about to move on from Genty pick. What is your?
Oh, we are. We've been moved on from the Genty pick.
Well, we were just talking about the Genty pick right now.
Jeff just kind of bounced back to the Genty pick right there. But yeah, that's
Don't
fine.
mind me. You just carry on doing what you're doing. Long story short, I feel good about the pick. You know me, Westside.
What's your letter grade? A+, B-? What you got?
Oh, we're doing grades. I usually don't like to grade until down the line. If you're gonna put me on the spot, yeah, A+, whatever.
Nice. Okay.
That's what's up.
And then we were talking about Jack Bech next. We were just
the receiver in the 2nd round. What's your thoughts on him?
Have you guys already had your takes?
Yeah. We're getting ready to move on to our next pick.
From the few highlights that I've seen, this is a guy who seems like he's not a finesse kind of guy, but the word that they highlight is toughness. And what he lacks in finesse, he makes up for it with skill. This is a guy who was productive at TCU, and he's playing motivated. You all know what happened with his brother. I'm sure you touched up on that. So, yeah, I like the pick. Can he be that complementary piece? Him or Thornton, time will tell. Surely one of these guys got to pop, right? So, yeah, I'll give it a solid B.
I kind of put my take on it, and fucking AR. My shit was just like, when you have a very inexperienced wide receiver room, when outside of like Jakobi Meyers, like there's really this receiver room, there's nothing that we're really good at, bro. Let's be real. Like we have one receiver that's known as a possession guy. The rest of these guys, we don't know what the fuck they're gonna be. Like
Trey Tucker after free agents outside of Trey Tucker.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, it's like a lot of these guys are just known that they can just run. We have to have some kind of identity. You know what I'm saying? Like Jeff said earlier about the first round pick, we have to have an identity, bro. And one thing about this Bech kid, bro, like he might not be the knock it out of the park fucking athlete, bro, but he is a fucking fighter, bro. He is a Raider. He will go out there and punch you in the fucking mouth, bro. He is a receiver that will get physical with you. Let me see if I can make, and I don't know if he'll live up to this, bro. And he didn't have the career that this guy did, bro. But his physicality, bro, he could be like a Michael Crabtree for us, bro. Similar body size, you know what I'm saying? Can block, is not afraid to go across the middle. That's what they were saying. I forget who was talking about it. I think it may have been the tape don't lie, because I'll be watching them and shit. And they said that it's showing that Pete wants guys that aren't afraid to go across the middle, bro. And this guy's a big body guy, bro, that's not afraid to go across the middle neither. Like I said, this dude does not shy away from contact, bro. Is pretty much what I'm putting the nail on the head at, bro. The dude's a physical player, dude, that's not going to bow down for nobody, and I love that, bro. You feel me? I like those kind of guys.
He likes to block. He likes to block his guys.
Too, yeah.
Apparently he's a good blocker. My comp that I hear is close to what he might be able to bring to the table is... and hopefully not the Raider version, because he was over the hill by then, but Jordy Nelson. That's what I hear his comparisons a lot.
And that's, bro, if we can get any bit of Jordy Nelson out of this kid, bro, it's a fucking dude. That's if you can get, what is it, 2 starters? I think they say the draft is a win. If you get 3, it's like a home run. If we get Ashton Genty, who a lot of us kind of figure he's already going to be a beast, and then we get a Jordy Nelson, that's 2 fucking starters right there in the first 2 picks again in back-to-back drafts. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't really have to go over this with Genty. We all kind of know about Genty. This was pretty much the summary on and the grade from a lot of the national media for the Jack Bech pick. It says the Raiders get one of the most talented and productive wide receivers in the NFL draft in TCU product Jack Bech. He is also one of the most inspiring stories as he tragically lost his brother in the New Orleans terrorist attack on New Year's Day. Last season, Bech finished with 62 receptions for 1,034 yards and 9 touchdowns. They gave the grade an A. They said this is a fantastic pick for the Silver and Black. They need to add more receiving talent for quarterback Geno Smith. And Bech is one of my favorite prospects in the entire draft. He has good size. They're saying he's 6'1" right here, so 6'1", 6'2". He has fantastic hands with a massive catch radius. He will have an early impact with the Raiders and will expand his role as the season progresses. He was the MVP of the Senior Bowl and had the walk-off winning touchdown in the Senior Bowl, which is something I forgot to mention too. He was the Senior Bowl MVP.
Let me just say this. I don't like how everybody
What up, Raider Ryan?
So ready to jump off the Jakobi.
What up, Ralph?
Train and they're ready to release him. I think Jakobi earned another contract with us.
Who the hell said that?
I've heard that.
No, that's a bad move to the.
I've heard content creators bring up that if Jakobi wants to hold out and he wants a bag and we don't have to pay him now because now we got Bech.
I like these guys as complimentary pieces to Jakobi Meyers, not as like they're going to take his job right from the rip. And just to Anthony's comment there, I heard that too. Like that's one of the knocks on Bech is that he's a little slow. He ran a 4.5 40-yard dash, but we've got speed to burn with Tucker and the next guy you guys are going to talk about down the line, Thornton. So, yeah.
Whoever's pushing that narrative out there about Jakobi Meyers is they're stupid. I'm sorry.
Raider Ryan Saludos.
I don't care how big they are as far as.
I won't say all that, but yeah.
That's the dumbest. That's the dumbest thing I've heard.
Jakobi's such a good dude. I think he definitely earned his second contract with the Raiders. I don't like that.
Hey, one thing I remember as soon as we got Jakobi, I remember a Patriots fan was telling me like, bro, you guys are gonna love him in Vegas. And sure enough, 2 years later, we absolutely love this dude. He's our fucking receiving boy.
Now you gotta remember, I live in New England, so I saw him when he was here playing for the Patriots. So when I heard that we were getting him, I knew exactly what we were getting, and I was ecstatic because I knew we were getting a dog in this kid. And at the time, obviously, DA was here too, so I knew we were going to have something good with him.
He's sure-handed. He's a willing blocker.
He don't complain.
Don't complain. He's had terrible quarterbacks ever since he's been here. He just gets to work and gets 1,000.
He's a lunch pail guy, bro. Blue chip fucking
Has
player.
Has anyone
dude.
heard a peep from him? Like you
Nope.
yell at it, he doesn't complain. He never said a peep during all the struggles that we had in the last 2 seasons that he's been with us.
Opposite of a wide receiver.
Not a peep. Just work hard and did his thing.
Total like Colton Miller. You don't hear from Colton Miller until just recently. I mean, the guy's never said boo. You know, they don't tweet stupid shit. They're not crying to the media all the time. They go out there, they play, they do their job, they get paid, and they go home. You know,
Colton Miller's kind of falling off, but yeah, I get what you're saying, Jeff.
Yeah, but you don't want to get rid of a guy like Jakobi that does that. No way.
No. Yeah, that wide receiver especially. I'm good off the diva wide receiver.
Yeah, one of our major needs, and we're going to get rid of a veteran on our team. That's bad.
Especially when you're trying to change the culture. That's the kind of guy that you want to build your culture around. Like you definitely keep him around if you can.
Right.
Oh, let's get rid of him. Yeah.
Fucking Raider PD said so. Mo Hurst and DJ Hayden with dramatic heart issues. Waller was a crackhead. O'Connell and Bech with brothers passing away right before their pro careers. Only the Raiders. That's fucked up. That's
Well,
fucked
did you
up.
see what he did too after he got off the phone with Spytech and Pete Carroll? First thing he did was he went to his brother's gravesite.
Brother's gravesite,
Said,
yeah, I saw that.
Yep, and said we got drafted. So in his interview, I saw that he did. I forget who the two guys that were talking to him. No, he said they're not only getting me, they're getting Tiger too. They're getting a 2-for-1 deal because my brother's coming with me. So I'm like, this kid, you saw it in his reaction when they called when they called his name out on draft day. I mean, the kid wants to be here. He wants to be a Raider because supposedly his brother was a Raiders fan too. I don't know how true that is or not, but I mean, this kid wants to be here. You can just see it in his reaction.
It's hard to imagine anybody being a Raiders fan, bro. I have to question their mental stability.
Yeah, my mental stability has been in question quite a few times over the last 30 years of my life, 33 years. So I'll definitely second that. So we'll move on to the next pick, man. As you guys can see right here, this was the national consensus is that for the most part, not spectacular, but for whatever reason, they still gave the Raiders an A with that pick, man. So I'm happy for that, bro. I'll take a fucking A from the national media, which typically we don't get no fucking love from, bro. In the third round, this is when I started to feel a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? We got a super chat coming in, so we'll let the super chat come through real quick. My boy Aunt Six.
ONG6 Soldier donated $5 through Super Chat. Hi Ben F. Dustin Ozzy Cortez Sultan Hi Westside F. Dustin Ozzy Cortez Sultan Hi RF Dustin Ozzy Cortez Sultan Hi Nate F. Dustin Ozzy Cortez Sultan Hi Jeff.
Saludos.
That voice is a crack up.
Saludos, bro.
Hey, somebody take that man's money away from him. He has too much fun.
I appreciate everybody for being in the chat, man. We got like 35 people in here. Hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe. As content starts to wrap up, you'll see a little bit more over here. Right now, it's just like one show a week for the most part. Just a little program news going forward. The Raiders, I'm going to check it out today. Every single year on Madden, like on the franchises and shit, they'll update the rosters. So I probably have a roster that has Geno Smith, Ashton Jeanty, and all these guys that was drafted. And then if I have that, I'm going to start a franchise with the new look Raiders, and we'll play through the season and shit as content. It should be pretty cool. At least it gives, like, hey, Alpha Costa, I seen your show. It's like, at least we could have fun on Madden again, goddammit. That slow ass fucking team. I'm like, bro, facts, bro. Fucking Raiders been boring as fuck to play with on Madden, bro. Motherfucker, stop playing the goddamn game.
Right.
Good. Highlight SoCal Sal's comment, bro. He said, I agree, Ern. Either you're born into it and you've been dropped on a baby as a baby, or what?
Dropped as a baby. Dropped on the head as a baby.
Yeah.
Here's what he meant to be. Meant to say, I mean.
I was cracking it.
What up, Herbal? Nice to see you, bro. Been a minute, gang. Hopefully you're doing well. So, yeah, so in the third round, they got a fucking...
This was a nice pick right here.
We got the corner, Darian Porter from Iowa State. Just a couple things.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Just a couple things that I know about him real fast, and I'll let all you guys know. He only played, I believe, corner for like 1 season or 1.5 years. He's a converted wide receiver. He in his short term, mid to short term as starting for Iowa State, he only allowed 5 catches. And he accumulated 3 interceptions. So he damn near had as many interceptions as he allowed completions as a corner. The dude is an athletic freak. 6'4", ran 4.3 flat. 6'3", 6'3 and a half, 6'4", 4.3 flat. Excited for the pick. Go ahead.
Bro, do you guys see what this is?
That's Richard Sherman. That's Richard Sherman.
This is fucking Richard Sherman, bro. This is our fucking Richard Sherman. We got our guy.
I mean,
I couldn't be happier.
Just his measurables alone, bro, and his instincts make it worth a 3rd round pick, bro. But if you just look at his body of work, dude, like when he plays, like he is a long, lanky fucking corner. Pause, bro. Like when the ball's thrown his way, bro, he looks like he's burnt, dude. This dude goes up in the fucking air, bro, and just takes shit, swat shit away. I love what Pete Carroll's doing in our secondary, bro. And I said this the other night when I was live in Yosemite, is Pete Carroll builds his team like how I build my team in Madden, but he wins Super Bowls in real life, and I win Super Bowls in Madden. You get the tallest, biggest, strongest players at every fastest positions, every fucking player at every position, bro. But yeah, he's a beast.
Hey, off subject a little bit. You guys see?
Rafa, I'm sorry, Nate. I seen this, and this is just ridiculous. Rafa says Porter isn't a guy that can cover, though. What do you mean? He's only allowed 4 catches the whole season.
3 catches. 3 catches.
3.
Oh, no, 5 catches. My bad. 5 catches and 3 interceptions. My bad. That's impressive as fuck.
5 catches and he has 3 picks. So they don't even throw over there, and he still has picks.
Bro, this is your prototypical corner that fucking Pete Carroll wants, bro. And he's a guy that Pete Carroll can develop in exactly what he wants to be, bro. If you look at his tape in Iowa, he's more of an off coverage corner. He doesn't run a lot of press. I do expect, Pete Carroll and our DB coach to kind of coach him up in his press game a little bit. He's more of almost identically like a Richard Sherman corner. He's a converted wide receiver, and in college they primarily ran him in a off zone system. What up, Rulis? He's better at zone than he is man, just like Richard Sherman is. I'm not saying Richard Sherman's a bad man corner, but he's better zone. You know what I mean?
Richard Sherman was a receiver in college too, and he's a converted corner.
Yep.
So this is the opposite of Nnamdi Asomugha.
Yeah, Nnamdi Asomugha was a converted safety.
Nnamdi was a. No, but what I meant was that, like you said, he's better at zone than he is at.
Yeah.
Remember, Nnamdi was better. Was the opposite. He was a lockdown man, but when they tried to convert him more to zone, when he went to Philly, he wasn't quite the Nnamdi he was with the Raiders.
And primarily, if you think, are we frozen? You guys can still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Primarily, bro. Like Pete Carroll isn't a defensive coach that runs a lot of man, guys. Like if you go back and watch them, bro, like they ran cover 3 with Gus Bradley in the prime of his coaching career, bro. Was when he was coaching up that team, bro, with all those guys, Richard Sherman, the Legion of Boom. That Legion of Boom was a cover 3 defense, bro, with Earl Thomas as your single high safety. And all those dudes ran cover 3 and cover 1 the entire fucking game, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I love the narrative of, the old school Raiders, you feel me, the press man to man. I just think we may be getting away from that, bro. I think we may be getting away from press man. I think you're going to see a lot more zone.
Our version of Legion of Boom already has a killer at safety, bro. Jeremy Chin.
2 of them. Isaiah Palomalo's a killer too, boy. That boy's a fucking monster. That boy made.
That's how the Legion of Boom was built. They had 2 killers. Earl Thomas was a killer too, but he was overshadowed because Cam was knocking people in next week.
Well, Earl Thomas, I don't know if he was ever overshadowed. Earl Thomas was a multiple-time All-Pro at one point.
No. I'm talking about as far as
hitting
his beast abilities, people be feared of him.
Yeah, his physicality, the physicality aspect of his game. I get you. Because Earl Thomas, bro, that fool was the only pick in that secondary, bro, that was a first round pick. All those guys, bro, were late round picks. If I'm not mistaken, I think Richard Sherman was like a 4th round pick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
yeah, pretty late.
I like it, bro. Like I said, I was gonna say this earlier, but I'll say it now. If there's one thing the Raiders have been lacking, dude, for multiple years, bro, is speed ain't everything, dude. But you can't continue to be the slowest team in the NFL, dude, and expect to win in the NFL, dude. Like, we are slow. Like, I'm paused. Like, I'm just being real, bro. We are fucking slow. We've been a fucking slow team. It's like we've been getting slower every year since Al Davis died. What up, Loon? And you don't, you say, just because you're fast don't mean you're going to be good, but you got to have some speed somewhere. You got to have somebody somewhere that if he touches the ball or something, good things are going to happen, and we ain't got that, bro. And this was like, when I seen this dude, I'm like, oh, bro, 6'3", 6'4", 4'3", flat. I'm like, okay, boy, we getting back to running around this motherfucker. What up, Navy vet? We need motherfuckers who can run. Go ahead, Jeff.
Think of it this way now, too. With what we're going to have now in the secondary, coupled with our front defensive line, these guys are going to excel in that secondary because that front line is just going to wreak havoc on the front line, on the offense, and the quarterback. Quarterback's not going to have time. He's going to throw off balance. These quarterbacks are going to be good chance. These kids are going to be getting interceptions like crazy in that secondary because of the pressure we're going to end up putting on quarterbacks this season. You know, even with the guys who drafted later on, too. So,
and another byproduct of that strong defensive line, our linebackers are going to be able to run free now and be able to do linebacker shit.
People are going to be smacking people back there.
That's a great point, Ern.
Just to your point as well, Bentho.
Like, cool, Kev.
Now it seems like the cornerback room, that's definitely like, look, yes, speed isn't everything. We brought in a lot of speed since the passing of Al Davis. It just didn't really pan out. Like, I'm looking at the DeMarcus Van Dykes and the Chimdi Chikwas, and the list goes on. But, like, you know, our secondary, like, we've got three guys who are either 4-3 flat or in the low 4-3s in Jacorian Bennett, the guy we just drafted, Darian Porter, as well as Decam Richardson. You got to remember, he's a speed.
Super fast too. Yep.
Yeah. So that's a position we have a luxury of speed.
And like I said, bro, we just got to get back to being athletes, bro. Like, first and foremost, bro, you got to have athletes, dog.
I'm a little more reserved. I get what Rafa was saying. He's only played 10 games in college at that defensive position. He's still learning. The advantage is he does play offense, so he kind of knows what.
There you go, Anthony Princio. He does. Jacorian Bennett runs too.
I just said that.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
Jacorian Bennett still has a chance.
Jacorian Bennett and Decam Richardson can run.
To be that other corner over there.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to give up on Decam Richardson yet, bro. I'm glad he went out last year, bro, and got his boots cooked, because the National Football League as a corner, the only way you are going to win is if you at corner is you got to get burnt, bro, and learn how wide receivers get open, bro. Once that's behind you, bro, then you make plays.
Let me speak to that. Now, everybody, you guys already know out there who one of the best corners the Raiders ever had, right? Number 24, Charles Woodson. I don't know if you guys remember his rookie year.
He was getting burnt.
Andre Rison abused this kid over and over when Andre was in Kansas City, bro. And you see how he turned out. So it's just something that needs to happen. It's part of the process.
Exactly. Right. That's what I was getting at.
Nick Robertson is a recent testament to that. I mean, he got cooked again and again and again. His first two seasons, then finally in year 3, he learned how to punch back and was making plays all over the place. So
yeah. I mean, don't let Raider Pete. I think it's either Raider Pete or Ray Love. I know one of them. They fucking can't stand on Meek Robertson. I like a Meek, bro. I felt like you said, bro. I think he did he was still getting burnt. You feel me? Like a little bit here and there later before he left the Raiders, but at least he was making plays, bro. And that's what I love the most about a Meek, bro. He made plays, dude.
He never quit.
Exactly, bro. He never quit, dog. Like, okay, remember that game when we played the Broncos and Jerry Jeudy tried to call him little, bro? Then Meek Robertson put his ass in a fucking box and started having a bunch of interceptions and forced fumbles and shit. That type of shit, bro. That's why I like so much about him. But yeah, man, like I said, I like our cornerback room. I like this guy. I think that was the biggest knock, though. Like Nate said, like Ralph said, the dude's got very limited snaps at corner. You know what I'm saying?
10 full games.
But it's a third round pick, though. I've seen motherfuckers with 10 games get picked in the first round. So,
hey, 3 picks in 10 games.
Yeah, only 5 completions allowed in 10 games is pretty good too, bro.
The fact that he knows what they're doing on offense, that's going to help him. So, the attributes are there. He's got the size, he's got all the good stuff, but we'll see.
I get Nate's skepticism. Sorry, Nate.
Yeah. No, go ahead, AR.
Like, I get you. Like, I mean, you know, on paper and the small body of work he's done, like, is very impressive. But at the same time, I get why you're skeptical, Nate. Like, you know, like he has all the traits, but can he put it together consistently for?
Let me say this.
Go, Gav.
They interviewed him right after he got drafted, right? And to me, he lacked confidence when they asked him about starting and getting playing time. And he was just like, "Oh, I can compete, and I'm gonna go out there and try my best, but I'm gonna contribute right away on special teams." I'm like, why? Don't even bring up special teams, bro. You go out there and say you're gonna start. Like, have that confidence. You gotta have that confidence as a DB or a corner.
I mean, he just wants to get on the field. That's his whole mentality.
Yeah, the narrative is he's just telling you that he's willing to compete. He's willing to
I like
compete.
his mentality. He's like, even if I can't get out there as a receiver, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I like that.
I want him to be more. There's like a thin line. I agree with you, Aaron. There's like a thin line of humbleness and cockiness, and you got to be right there as a DB.
I was just gonna say, but then when Shador does it, everybody hates it. So it's like, you know what I mean?
That's a little bit quarterback. It's just different, bro.
Yeah, I don't feel like you can act like that as the leader of your team.
You gotta talk to the media. You gotta be media trained. There's other things with the quarterback that you can't just be a arrogant asshole like the way Shador is. You pick me and I'm gonna change your franchise. If you don't pick me, you're like, it's just like, bro, calm down. You went 6-4 with Colorado. You're like, shut up.
That fucking
be successful in the NFL. Y'all gonna be tripping.
That Cleveland quarterback room looks like a shit show right now, dude.
I actually like what they're doing in Cleveland, bro, because they're gonna bring in a whole bunch of players, and then like whoever comes out of there, they're gonna have a big gauntlet. Whoever comes out of the gauntlet is gonna have the job. I think that's a good way to do it.
We've got 5 quarterbacks on our roster right now.
Yeah, I like it. Competition.
One of them's actually drafted as a wide receiver, but still. We've still got 5 guys that can play that spot.
We'll get to that debate when we get up to the quarterbacks.
Yeah, like I said, bro, at the end of the day, bro, we're going out and we're addressing needs. And like I said, I don't feel like we reached, bro. I feel like his athleticism alone and like I said, the body of work is small. It is, bro. But it's not like we reached on the pick, bro. I feel like it's a good pick. It's just one of these guys that Pete Carroll we're going to need to develop. Our DB coach is going to have to develop this guy, bro. This guy has all the physical tools to be an elite corner in the National Football League, bro. His size, his frame, the way he runs, the way he covers, it's there, bro. It's there. But he's going to have to be coached up. I'm not going to say, but see, the difference is, I don't think he's a project player. I think there's a difference between a player that has to be coached up and a player that's a project. I don't think this kid's a project player. I think he's going to be a good corner. He just needs to be coached up. You know what I'm saying? Like a project player to me would be like motherfucking Tyree Wilson, where they don't know if this motherfucker wants to play defensive end or defensive tackle or linebacker or corner. They don't know what the fuck they want to do with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to have no issue with this kid. He's going to be a fucking corner, bro. He's got to be developed.
But this kid just need to be coached up. I am not worried at all, because I feel like we have the perfect fucking person to be coaching him up.
That's why I'm so excited for the pick, bro. It's because I know that we have a guy that primarily focus. Yes, Pete Carroll's a defensive guy, but he's a DB guy, bro. He loves his corners and he loves his safeties, bro. You know what I'm saying? Those are going to be our strengths of our team. I think that's maybe one of the primary reason it was so imperative that he wanted to bring Max Crosby back, because he don't want to have to worry about the defensive line, the linebackers. He wants to coach the secondary, bro. He wants the corners and the safeties, bro. You feel me? He needs Max Crosby to be the guy that's going to keep that front seven, you feel me, in line. What up with you, Chris? Protect the shield in the building. Saludos. What up with you, Mode? Saludos. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. You guys know what time it is. Yeah, man, that's the reason why, in my opinion, the pick makes sense. It's because if it was any other team that didn't really know how to coach up defense and coach up DBs, it'd be more of a head scratcher. But the fact that the coaching staff that we have, I think he's going to be a fucking beast, bro. We're going to coach him up to be a fucking monster, bro.
I think you're going to see him get a lot of one-on-one with Pete Carroll, too, to be honest with you. I think he's going to spend a lot of time with this kid, helping this kid.
Yeah, he had Tariq Woolen too, bro. This guy has very similar ball frame to Tariq Woolen, bro.
Bruh, my man Aunt Six Soldier just said something. I know it's a little early for nicknames, but if you think of the way
he said it.
He said that, bro.
He said it himself.
That Silver Surfer, that's fucking
that's a sick name.
I like that.
Yeah, he said it himself.
Hell yeah.
He said that at the Raiders headquarters, and they were talking to him.
Yeah, in his press conference.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
He just did another
hat made that says that shit.
Boy, he just had another joint where he said Raider Nation, get your popcorn ready. It's me versus 11 guys. Like, yeah, I'm excited, bro.
Did you see the video at the main entrance to the headquarters where Violator and Gorilla met him? So
yeah,
I talk to Wayne all the time. Wayne Mabry, the Violator.
Yeah, shout out to Wayne. He's been on the show before.
He sent me that video, so then I said to him, I said, how was the kid? I said, he seems like he's a cool kid in person. He goes, I said, he looks like he's well mannered. He goes, there's a beast in this kid. He goes, this kid wants to be.
Yeah.
He goes, there's a mean streak inside this kid that you don't see when you see him talking, but when he was talking to them, he goes, this kid's gonna be something. I said, all right, I hope so. It better be.
That's a good comment right here by All Eyes. So the 3rd round pick that we gave the Seahawks for Geno Smith, they used it to draft Jalen Milroe.
That was the 3rd round pick that we got for Devontae.
Yep, from the Jets.
Yeah, full circle.
Yeah, from the Jets.
Full circle.
That's a good pick. Milroe in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I'm not against that pick in the 3rd round. I wasn't a huge fan of him, but I wouldn't have been against him for fucking. Mode said press the fart noise, so we had to.
I was gonna say somebody need to go check their drawers, bro.
Excuse me.
I'll go right back.
Excuse me. What up, Protect the Shield, my guys? Saludos, man. Shout out to the chat, man. We got 35 people in here. Hit the like button. But yeah, man, like I said, I think at the end of the day, bro, I give the grade on that like a B. I'm not gonna go super high on it. You feel me? I think he's a guy that's gonna have to be developed. That's just what it comes down to, bro. But just the physical traits are there, bro. The frame is there. He's got elite. I won't even say frame, bro. Elite frame, bro. Like elite, dog. Like shut down, like Sauce Gardner type size. Like these big corners that can run is what you want, bro. So yeah, I give it a B, bro. He just got to be coached up.
I'll give him a B right now.
Yeah.
I
like
that. What's the score of the Warriors?
The score on the Warriors even playing.
The Warriors playing right now?
You're sitting at a computer. You can't go to like CBS Sportsline or something?
Yeah, I can. I
meant him. I meant Nate. It's like
Nate's asking somebody else with a computer right in front of him and shit.
My computer's my laptop, bro. If I start clicking on shit.
Oh, it's over. It starts overheating and shit.
If I start clicking on shit on my laptop, it's gonna start glitching.
Damn.
The Raiders playing.
You gotta get a bottle of compressed air, bro.
Yeah, I do.
The game ain't even on right now. What?
Yes, it is.
It says it's on. Let me see. We haven't seen the score.
While you guys are deliberating on that, I will say about Darian Porter is that this guy has a very, very high ceiling. He could be
they are playing right now.
The steal pick for us of the draft. Or this guy, I think it's either going to be one or the other with this guy. He's either going to flame out or he's going to be a huge steal and
57-50.
piece about secondary.
Yeah, halftime.
I think it's going to be one or the other.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to flame out. I think he's going to be just fine. But I agree.
And you know what else I also took from him, guys, is like he's like Nate, bro. He's a super cheesy guy, bro. Like the whole time he's just super cheesing, just super happy about it. You can tell he's happy to be here. It looks like he's gonna be a guy that's gonna accept coaching. That's another thing I think that people tend to forget about. Like some guys, they don't take coaching very well. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be coached up. This guy, look, I said, bro, he seems extremely intelligent. Looks like he's a very humble kid from in the short term I've heard him talk. And it looks like he wants to be coached up, you know. And if you want to be great in the National Football League, well, what I should say is if he wants to be great, if that kid wants to be great, he's got the tools to do it, and he's got the coaches in front of him to allow him to be great. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it is what's going to come down to. And check this out, kid, if you're listening. You are on a team that used to be known as DB Cornerback University, bro. Some of the best corners to ever take a fucking snap in the National Football League have put that silver and black on, bro. Do you want to add your name to the best corner since Nnamdi Asomugha? Like, we haven't had one, like a great one. We've had stints with short guys. A good example is David Amerson. I like David Amerson. He started to get older. He flamed out. But, you could be the next guy. Just primary based off your frame and the coaches in front of you. How bad do you want this? You could be great for us. How bad do you want it?
What number are you giving them if you're the coach?
Porter?
What number does he want? I'm a big fan of letting them pick what they want, bro. Especially now we're in a league where they can pick single numbers and shit. Make the kids happy, bro.
I would try to push 21 on him because 21 in this organization is like there's been a lot of great players at that number.
I'd rather give him 21 than I throw fucking 24 to another defensive back, though.
That's what I was waiting for.
Hey, 24 is a great one, too. What are you talking about?
But you can't put that. We can't put it on any more defensive backs, bro. They keep burning that number, dude.
Wasn't 21?
Amik Robertson wore 21.
It was Eric Allen. It was
Nnamdi Asomugha. Charles Woodson.
That's a great
24.
legacy as well.
Okay. I thought Charles Woodson was always 24. Okay, I thought he wore 21 at once. Okay.
No, when he went to Green Bay, I think he switched to 21.
Oh yeah, in Green Bay he was 21. There you go. Thank you. I knew at some point he wore 21. Yeah, in Green Bay he wore 21. Yes, sir.
But when he came back to the Raiders, he went back to 24 again.
As a safety, yes, sir. There you go. Thank you. I'm about to say I know he wore 21.
Charles Woodson as a Raider was always 24.
What was Amik 21?
Amik Robertson was 21. Yes, sir.
He was 21.
Hey, did you see that?
He wore that 21 greatly. I appreciate what he did. Sorry. What's up with you? Bueno, saludos.
Willie Brown was 24, wasn't
he? Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if it's true or not. Well, Cliff Branch was 21 also.
That's who it was. I said Fred Biletnikoff.
Yeah.
I meant to say Cliff Branch. I was tweaking.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I thought I saw something.
What up, Renee Rivada? Saludos.
Given the okay for
shout out to the 50, man. Hit the like button.
Gentry to wear number 32. He's like, he wants to see the kid wear number 32.
Really?
I don't know how true it is. I saw it pop up today.
I'd like to see Jeremy Chin wearing 32 personally.
What didn't you know? George Atkinson wore 42, didn't he?
43.
43, okay. Who wore 32 as a safety?
Hey, I met George Atkinson at Ricky's Sports Bar in San Leandro back in the day, like when we were the 2003 Raiders.
When they was playing? That's sick.
And he was like, I was at watching the game at Ricky's Sports Bar, and they were like in front, a little area where you could go smoke a cigarette or cigar or whatever. He was out there smoking a big ass cigar with his big ass.
I don't mean to cut you off, Ern, but Raider Pete just dropped a bombshell. He said RaiderBen, ex-Niner, and new Bronco linebacker Dre Greenlaw, the guy that a lot of us wanted, they said he just tore his quads in the weight room and he's out indefinitely. Damn, huge
today he did that.
Huge blow for the Broncos. Good for us. I wanted him. I'm glad we didn't get him.
I like that lyric in that Ice Cube song that he did for the Raiders where he says Atkinson put you to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some, like I said, bro, I fucking, that's what I thought too, Raider Pete. I thought Tatum wore 32 at one point because I think my jersey, no, it wasn't Tatum. I said Atkinson. I'm tripping, my bad.
Yeah, no, Tatum wore 32.
Yeah. So who else wore 32 besides Jack Tatum? Why was the number 32? Why was the number 32 brought up? No, like a corner, because
Marcus Allen, Zach Crockett.
I knew about Marcus Allen, but Jeff, did you say they wanted that defensive back to wear 32? That we drafted, the kid we were talking about? Oh, you're talking about somebody else.
Marcus Allen said that he would like to see Gentry wear 32.
Oh, okay.
Zach Crockett wore 32. Jack
42.
Tatum.
Like
you talking about 42? Whose number do you want me to look at?
Just 2.
What number am I looking at? Because I'm looking at 32. What number did you read?
Oh, we've done figure out. My high ass world, we done figure out. We're talking about different ball players and shit.
Yeah, whatever.
I guys like fuck you. I was just looking up numbers. Now you don't look up numbers. Fuck you. My bad, bro.
You move on with the show.
Marshawn won 24 when he was here.
So that's where I was gonna go with, bro. I think if he's gonna pick, if they're gonna give another fucking chance at 24, bro, give it to Genty, bro. And apparently Marshawn was his favorite player, his favorite running back. Marshawn wore 24 with us. 24 ain't available. I'm done with giving fucking 24 to fucking fucking defensive backs. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that.
Hey,
Over with it. Give Genty 24. What the fuck is going on with the fucking monitor shit? Bugging out. That's weird.
To play for us. I don't care what fucking number this kid weighs.
I agree with you, Jeff, but
I don't care if he wins 0, 1,
puts
2, 99. I don't give a shit. Just play.
And I think people want to know what the jersey numbers are going to be so they can go get their jerseys and shit already before the season starts.
But can't you pre-order jerseys and like when you pre-order it, once they have their number official, then they print it out and send it to you?
No clue.
I'm pretty sure you can do that, like with.
I've been ordering my shit from China, so I don't know if they're gonna do that.
Bro, shout out to China. Shout out to China.
Right.
Hey, you motherfuckers. Hey, bro, I don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers hate on my hate on China jerseys. Y'all motherfuckers out there paying $100 for a jersey they painted on, boy. Fuck that. I'm paying $20. My shit's stitched, boy. Yeah, fuck out of here.
Wait, hold on. $259 for a jersey for a player that's gonna be gone from this bitch in 2 years.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know about buying jerseys. Last
Is that what you predict with Genty?
So.
No. I'm just saying that's the pattern that it's been for hella long here.
And earn for what you just said, bro, is the exact reason why I bought my jerseys from China, bro. Like now I feel like I can go buy a first round pick jersey and have some confidence spending $250 on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? With Genty, with Bowers now. You know what I'm saying?
You better buy a size that's too bigger though, because they're based on Chinese sizes over there, because they always come over.
Bro, I've been telling, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Everybody that I've ever sent the motherfucking links to the jerseys I get, like Alpha Cassi's gotten to the jersey spot that I get them from, bro. They're legit jerseys, bro. For the price, bro, they're legit jerseys, dog. And you're only paying $20, bro. You can't beat it for $20. I can literally, if I really wanted to do a hustle out of it, bro, I guarantee you, because if the more you buy, they give you a discount on, bro. I bet you I could buy 40 jerseys buy 10 jerseys for 4 of the most popular teams in the NFL. And I bet you I can go to the swap meet over here, bro, and I bet you I can sell them for $60 a piece, bro, at least. I bet you, bro.
75% of the people that do the Westside. I guarantee 75% of the people who do the content creation that do like jersey giveaways, that's where they get them.
Yeah.
Well, I do it the side.
They're not giving away $300 jerseys.
What you do? You go buy about 20 Geno Smith jerseys, right? And buy you about 50 Ashton Genty jerseys, and buy you a few other random jerseys in common sizes. And then on game day, when the Raiders are playing in Vegas, go stand out in front of the stadium and just a little sign says Raider home jerseys, $100. You'll be sold out before the game starts.
Yeah, bro, if you took them jerseys like to the town, like say the Raiders were still in the town, bro, and you was buying them bitches on DH Gate or motherfucking Alibaba or whatever, boy, you can sell them motherfuckers for, you could have sold them motherfuckers for damn near $100 at the BART fucking station, boy. Them same DH Gates, $75 a piece. They'd be like, I got stitched right here. I'd have been like stitched jerseys, $75, bro. You feel me? And
what do you say about IG?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just saying, like, to that point, like, dudes are openly selling like bootleg Raider gear that they get from DH gear, $20, and they're reselling it on IG for $50 US.
Yeah, like this guy right here, 1900 living. He just said people just don't want to wait for the shipment, and that's really the biggest issue, bro. Like if you order a jersey from DH Gate, where I get a lot of my joints from, you feel me? If you order them, bro, yeah, they're $25, but you're gonna have to wait like sometimes 6 weeks for it to show up, bro.
That's not even get it at all.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's why when you do it, I'm telling you, bro, they're good jerseys, dude. A lot of people in the chat have seen it, have had them, and they've told you. Afakasi could vouch. If you just make sure you buy a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna wait 6 weeks for it, at least get a few of them. You know, I mean, even if you just want one to try it out, I think it's worth it. But now when I buy them, I'll buy it like this year, bro. I'm probably gonna go get Ash and Genty off rip, and I'm gonna go get fucking that Jack Bech kid off rip, bro. Just to have them, $20 a piece. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Put on for the kids.
I don't buy jerseys of new players. I learned my lesson.
If you're going to buy jerseys and you're apprehensive about new players, you can always go to classics. Like this is a Tim Brown jersey from eBay, like one of those printed on Reebok jerseys, $20 US. You know,
hey, I can respect a painted on Reebok jersey, bro. I can't respect a painted on Nike jersey, bro. You gotta get yourself something stitched, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on. Back in the day when Nike, when they had their emblems on the jersey, bro, they had those like the painted on Nike ones and the painted on Reebok ones. They had like is different. You know what I mean? Depending on what year.
There's different premium jerseys. You got your base jerseys, which are like usually like the painted on one, and then you get like the more premium ones, which are like close to what they wear on game day, where everything is like all stitched and stuff.
And I think in my opinion, the DH Gate jerseys are most valuable for this, bro. If you just want to get a custom jersey with whatever name on the back, dude, a lot of places, dude, are going to charge you like $150 to $200, dude, with shipping and everything, bro, to get just a custom, and it's going to be painted on. This you already know if you get a custom jersey, it's fake, dude. If they put your name on it, it's not a real jersey. So you can go on DH Gate and get yourself a custom jersey, any name you want, any number you want on the back of it, and it's still $20, bro. You feel me?
Hey,
like I bought my first ever RaiderBen jersey, bro. I bought from the NFL joint, the stitched one. The cheaper one was like $185, bro. And then as soon as I found out about DH Gate, I bought the same exact one, bro. And you can't even tell the fucking difference, bro.
That dog breathing?
She's old, yeah, she old.
Yeah, she is. You can tell by the white face.
She's chilling, yeah. My bad to get off subject back there, but we got.
No, you good, bro. It's cool to break the ice. Hey, and let's break the ice a little bit more. We got all my people up here. My girl. I got my girl recording me falling in the snow, dog. So we'll see if we can load this up real quick. Get a little quick left.
Is your dog breathing on you? Because it didn't look like it was moving.
Yeah, she's having a sleep. Like she's just having a nap after the floor. But real quickly, while you're doing that, Ben, this is an example of DH Gate jersey. Malcolm Kuntz bought that last season. All the stitching is all like just about perfect. Like you cannot go wrong if you want something cheap like this. Fits perfect, looks perfect.
The collars on the stuff, yeah.
Right, the collar like it's not quite like the old bootlegs used to have more of a stretchier collar. That's the only problem with these. Like it's all fitted, but like for $20, like
exactly,
to like a real one. You know what I mean? You cannot go wrong.
You get mustard and beer on it, no problem.
Exactly, that part, Nate. That's the kind of jersey you can wear to like the barbecue. Like, boy, turn up. Yeah. I don't give a fuck if I have hella blunt burn holes in this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck if I done spilt hella motherfucking fucking hot link grease all over it. Boy, turn up. Spill beers. We in this motherfucker, boy. And that bitch, I throw that bitch out like a white t-shirt, like a pro club at the end of the day if I have to. I don't give a fuck. There you go. You know what time it is. So let's see if this video done load up real quick. Yep, here we go. See this video load up. Everybody get themselves a little laugh real quick. No, that's not the right video. Not said video. All right, this shit hasn't loaded yet.
What y'all know about this?
What's that?
That Sprite lemonade.
Hell yeah.
It's all right.
Hey, wait, my girl just had like a citrus Sprite, bro.
You remember those old ads back in the 90s with the like Grant Hill specifically, the Grant Hill drink Sprite. Man, they used to do such good ads back in the day.
Grant Hill was the fucking basketball player, right?
Yeah.
You try that Shirley Temple Sprite, Ern? The red one? Is it Sprite or 7-Up? I think it's Sprite. That could be 7. They made a Shirley Temple one. It's bomb. That shit fire. I don't. Yeah, it's fire. It's like limited.
That's
it
my
always,
uncles
it always
used
sells
to
out.
give me all the time. Because when I was a little kid, they used to take me to the bar with them and shit and make me drink Shirley Temples. So I always wanted to try their beer. They was like, nah, you better get you a Shirley Temple and shut the fuck up.
They're fire though. They taste just like them. The Shirley, yeah, they were good, bro. It might be 7-Up though. I might be wrong. It might not be Sprite.
All right, bro. We found the video game. You were. Hey, and mind you, boy, I didn't even think about this shit. And like I said, let's put some perspective on this, boy. I ain't never been hiking. Your boy Banter was up in that bitch with some Raider Crocs on, some True Religions. You feel me? I was in that bitch. It was in that bitch real Raider shit, hiking down the snowy ass mountain.
Hiking in flip flops.
Crazy.
So check this, bro. Check this shit out. Check this shit out, bro. Where it's at. Oh, shit's hella funny. Bro, it literally took me all the way to come down the hill for somebody to be like, bro, why the fuck you out here in some Crocs?
Wait, you did what?
Check it out, bro. Like, this me, bro. Look where we at,
You
gang.
wearing Crocs in the snow?
You about to get what the fuck you deserve.
Bro, I didn't think we was doing all this. I didn't think we was doing all this at first. I bit off more than I could chew, goddammit. You were, and if you can see, I already fell once. Look, my pants already hella dirty. I done ate shit once already. You know what I'm saying? Watch, check it out.
Was it right here? Yeah. You know, already shit on himself.
I just love it the way you're walking alone.
He knows it's coming too. You can hear it.
That's what the fuck you get, Crocs wearing in the snow ass.
Bro.
Whoa.
Hey, bro, I told my girl I was going to fall, though, so I didn't get mad. Because I'm like, bro, if I fall, I ain't about to be mad.
That's exactly what you deserve.
Oh, shit. I wasn't even mad, bro. I wasn't even mad. We came down that bitch. He said Crocs in the snow is wild.
You're lucky you didn't get frostbite, man. Like Crocs in the snow to Alfredo's point. That's wild, man.
Al's ghost said I was moving like Cleve Farrell, more like Tyree Wilson. Al's ghost. Don't do Cleve Farrell like that.
You was moving like Zamir White when there's no hole in the middle.
That shit, like I said, bro, that shit was fun. So that was the second time I felt it. Literally took all the way till I got back down the mountain for a bit. Like, the motherfucker was like, bro, the fact that you're out here in some Crocs is crazy, bro.
Right.
Because originally I wasn't about to go up that motherfucking mountain. We were just gonna go hang out and shit. Then I was like, we were just walking around, you feel me? I was smoking. And I was like, oh, look, babe, there's a trail. Well, fucking said trail took us up a fucking mountain, dog. And once we got about a mile and a half up the mountain, I'm like, babe, are we going to, like, is there an end to this? I was like, does this end? Like, is there, like, something I'm supposed to go see? Or, like, do we just walk until we get tired and then turn the fuck around? Because I'm about to turn the fuck around, bro. I look fucking on 6 with a super chat.
G6 Soldier donated $5 to Super Chat. Ben was walking like Dustin after walking out of Jim Harbaugh's office because we all know when Jim Harbaugh walks in the office and whips his pee out.
He wore his butthole out. 6, you fucked up, game.
He really had it ready to go.
Boy, he was ready for that shit.
And you thought that was mud.
I appreciate you, Aunt. So yeah, bro. So we get like a mile and a half up this fucking hill, right? So I'm like, all right, does this shit end? And then I finally see a sign. I see a sign, and it says top of the mountain. I forget how fucking long it says, but that was a goddamn lie because it was twice as long because my fucking iPhone said I walked a lot further than that. But anyways, bro, I'm like, okay, so I have a fucking goal. And I told my girl, I'm like, we fucking doing it. I don't give a fuck if I got Crocs on or not. There's something at the end of this fucking hill, and I want to go fucking see it. So we went up that bitch. But yeah, going up wasn't so bad. It was the coming down, boy, because I was walking on these steep ass icy hills. Boy, that shit was all bad. That shit was all bad, bro. But it was fun, though, dog.
Ben, so when you got out of your vehicle at the snow with Crocs on, with holes in them, your toes didn't tell you that this isn't a good idea?
No, my feet actually never got cold, to be honest.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my feet actually never got cold.
You might have diabetes.
That's fucked up.
Shit.
That's fucked up, dog. Don't wish that on you, boy. Look at Jeff over there about to fucking die. Boy, that's why I gotta sleep with the air conditioner on like 60, boy. I'm like on fire all the time, bro. I'll be out of shit.
You're getting old, Ben. You're getting old. You're creeping up, bro.
Oh, that was just perfectly kind when you said that.
Hey, they don't all win. They don't all win.
Oh my god.
That was one of Nate's greatest hits. That's one on his highlight reel.
That was, bro, I did not expect that, dude. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, but he's not lying, though.
No, I've gone through my health anxiety shit. I'm good. I'm just naturally a hot person, bro. Like,
you got diabetes.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd have been able to go up fucking 4 mountains of a motherfucking Shasta mountain without eating if I had diabetes. Cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was a little bit hungover, bro. All I had was a motherfucking Red Bull to waken me up, bro, and a blunt. And I fucking was like, all right, let's hit this mountain.
Wait, you had a Red Bull for breakfast before hitting the mountain?
Yep.
You a wild boy, man. You a wild boy.
Bro, I think that's why I don't get fatter, bro, because like I don't eat, dog.
Let me rephrase. You had a Red Bull for breakfast before heading up a snowy mountain in Crocs.
I didn't. All right, so I get what you're saying, but at the point, like I said earlier, at first I didn't know I was going up a goddamn mountain. I thought I was just gonna go hang out in the snow and smoke tree and kick it with my girlfriend, and then we end up going up a goddamn mountain. So I had no fucking choice at that point.
I would have been like, nah, I'm gonna wait for you guys to go hit the trail. I'm gonna be waiting.
Bro, like this is how I am, bro. I don't know how some of you motherfuckers smoke weed are. I can't eat before I smoke, bro. Like and at the time I thought we were just gonna go see the snow. I didn't think we were going up a mountain. So I'm like, all right, cool. You feel me? I'm gonna go out there. I'm a smoke or whatever, and then if I get hungry, I'll eat. Well, we got out there and I smoked, and then we just started walking, and the next thing you know, I'm walking up a fucking mountain. My girl ate though. I just don't have an appetite, bro. Like I naturally don't have an appetite unless I get fucking super high, bro. I get super high, then I start eating.
It's okay, that line was perfect.
Alright, so let's get back on topic, man. Let's move on to some linemen. Let's get some Nutty Raider Nate thoughts on some of these linemen. I know, I definitely know Jeff was fucking with some of these linemen too. Once we started going, oh, linemen. Huh?
Did we do the Thornton pick?
Yeah, we did the Thornton pick. You guys want to give a grade on? No, we haven't did the Thornton. We did the Porter. We did the Porter pick. My bad.
Yeah, we're still in the third round.
Yeah, we're still in the third round. So this is where we're going.
Back from the last half hour.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we get a little off the rails over here.
My bad.
It's all good.
Thornton pick. We got our player comp Richard Sterling, our player comp Jordy Nelson. My player comp for Thornton, I know he has a small.
We ain't on Thornton yet, though, Ern.
Huh?
We ain't on Thornton yet.
Yeah. We're on the offensive line.
We're on the offensive line right now.
The two guys that get to the third.
I thought we took him before then.
We took him after these two guys.
I'm high. Leave me alone.
Yeah, he was the guy that was taken in day 3, I think, or where the fuck it was in round 4. Yeah. All right, so in the third round we took Caleb Rogers. I didn't know too much about Jack Bech. That one made me scratch my head a lot, or a little bit, but this one made me scratch my head a lot, bro. From what I've heard, this dude is a pure project player. I heard he's undersized. I don't know. I'll let Nate probably talk. He probably knows more about these guys than I do. But from what I'm hearing, bro, he's a reach. This was like the first reach I think they said we had in the draft right here was this guy. Because I know the lineman we took after him was a lot better. He just played at a smaller school.
Oh yeah.
I'm mad at this pick because we passed up on a lot of good, talented linemen. And we took Porter. Even when we took Bech, we traded back those 2 times. I felt like we could have grabbed a good quality starter right there. We got Bech and we took Porter. We got Rogers. He's versatile. He's a tackle. I don't like his feet. They can move him to guard. He's been training to play guard. I think he can start right away for us. I don't know what everybody else is saying, but he definitely could be a starter for us between him and Grant. I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. He's strong as shit. I don't like his feet. He looks a little slow with his feet.
Why does he get diabetes too?
Yeah, definitely. That could be an issue.
Fuck.
I mean, I'm not going to dog the kid. We got to see him. O-line is particularly they work as a unit, so we'll see how he works, how he plays with the other guys, and how they mesh together. But he could be not.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know too much about the kid from all the reviews that I've heard from just national scouts and shit. He's a project guy. He's gonna be a guy that's gonna have to be. He's like I said, we talked about players have to be coached up and players that are project. The main narrative I've heard on this guy is he's a project, bro. I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like, I don't really care. Like, I wasn't one of those guys that was like, oh, our offensive line is fucking terrible. Our offensive line is fucking terrible. I'm not one of those guys. I don't think our offensive line is that bad. Do I think we can get better in some spots? Yes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this kid's going to have an opportunity to do for us. He's going to have an opportunity to be able to get us better in one of those spots that we need to be. We need to be better at guard. You know what I'm saying? I think our outside tackles are good. I like Colton. I like DJ Glaze. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with those guys. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with our center, JPJ. We have our biggest question marks on our offensive line is the interior of our offensive line at guard.
Yeah. So, but look, remember, Jordan Meredith is playing really, really good lately, bro.
No, I like Meredith.
I think that's going to be our starter moving forward. And I think for this
that part, Al's Ghost.
I think he just has a really high upside. And you can see he has a C on his jersey. And I think that's the kind of players that we're going for. He has the prototypical, the size for a guard. He must have a really high upside for them to take him right there. He's not going to be able to come in and contribute right away, but he's not going to be asked to come in and contribute right away. So I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, go ahead.
As long as these 2 guys allow us to get rid of Parham, I'm happy.
That's what I was just going to say. I think they can start over Parham right away.
Parham on draft day, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still not all out on Parham. I know I hear some of your guys' arguments, but until I see us get better, until I can see us replace him with somebody better. I mean, right now there's no pure upgrade over him, dude. Like there's no pure. If we can get a pure upgrade, then yeah, move on. But right now he's the best that we got, bro.
Rogers might be it. He is a little nasty. I don't like his feet, like I said, but anything's got to be better than Parham. The way he gets moved out there.
Both these guys we drafted on the O-line. Both of them are maulers. They're both means. They got a mean streak in them, basically, like JPJ does. But this guy's good. I don't mind him. It's the other guy I like better.
Yeah.
The other guy's probably going to stop for us.
He's more technical. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and this is where when I
where would he start though, Jeff?
At guard.
Yeah, at guard. Well, he's a tackle. The next guy, before we get into him, they're projecting him to play guard in the NFL.
See, to to take a guard and try and transform them to tackle, especially left tackle, that's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
But to go from tackle to guard, it's an easier transition.
Yep.
So if this other kid is listed as a guard, tackle, and that's what he played primarily in college, you can move him interior, and he'll be just as good on the interior. It's easier for him for a tackle to go into that position.
Yeah, because then you have basically a guard with a tackle's feet rather than a tackle with a guard's feet.
Correct.
Yeah, and you also don't want guards who primarily have shorter arms at tackle to play tackle, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
that kid Will Campbell that the Patriots grabbed, the offensive lineman,
he'll be a better guard.
He'll be a much better guard.
Yeah, he's got short ass arms, bro. Because as a guard, bro, like you can kind of let guys get into you, bro, and then you bully them. As an offensive tackle, dude, you don't even want them to touch you. You got to use your arms to keep them off of you. As a guard, you can.
Center is close contact.
Exactly. Yep.
With the tackle, the object is to keep them away from.
Exactly. That's the reason why. Well, you guys have any thoughts on this kid right here? Because honestly, I'm not the biggest fan, but I do like Jeff. I like the next pick a lot more, dude.
I still like both of them. This is like I was talking about. This is where my Genty pick now goes from that B+ that I called it earlier. Now he jumps up into the A's because now I see what they were doing. Now they were adding depth and possible help for the offensive line to block for him and for Geno. So this is where my grade scoops into the A's now because of these two picks. And I was ecstatic Friday night when we did what we did because it's like we finally addressed the offensive line. And this kid's okay. He'll be all right. We'll make something of him.
Yeah, they said
but it's the other kid that I'm really excited about.
The national grade they gave it was a B-. They said the Raiders added to their offensive line with the selection of Kalen Rogers out of Texas Tech. While he played offensive tackle in college, he will presumably play inside at guard. So he was a tackle too. They have him listed as a guard, but he was a tackle.
It's because of his size and his feet, but yeah.
Okay.
Still a big kid too. So I mean,
this is the dude, bro.
This is the one right here.
Yeah. The only knock on this dude is that he's from a smaller school.
Small school.
To that point, though, to that point, if I can get in there for a second,
go ahead.
Do you remember the last guy we drafted to address the left tackle specifically, who was from a small school? Do you remember him?
I know what it is, but I cheated because I seen the show earlier.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
Me too. Ern.
I'll ask you, Nate and Jeff, if you guys remember the last time we.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because we did this.
All right. Well, what about you, Nate? Do you remember? See if you can think at the top of your head.
No.
It was
Tough, James.
14 years ago.
No.
15 years ago.
But
He
no.
was the Incredible Hulk in
Bruce Campbell?
No.
JV.
Same class.
Oh, Vanderdos, or not Vanderdos.
Put some respect on the name.
Valdir.
Valdir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valdir was from a small ass school.
So Jared Valdir was from a small school, and that guy was good right from the rip. Like
he's on YouTube now too. You see that?
I know. I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen
dope.
it. He's a lot leaner now. He does a lot of content. But Jared Valdir is a guy who did pan out for us when we tried to address the left tackle position, specifically getting a smaller school guy. So if this guy can even come close to what Jared Valdir was for us, then we may have our incumbent to life.
What up, James?
I've stressed it many times that we needed to find. We've needed to prepare for life after Colton Miller for the longest time, and I'm hoping it's this guy. And yeah, James Weber, you know what time it is. Raiders.
I'll tell you what. Don't sleep on small school.
Raiders.
Oh, that's right.
Raiders.
Only Ben, bro. Only Ben.
I told my girl I gotta hear it echo one time.
Maybe the Yeti might have come out and given you one back.
Right.
What if a Yeti comes and
man,
checks him in a
raped by
football
Yeti.
uniform and shit?
California man with diabetes.
And his feet.
California man with diabetes gets mauled by a Yeti wearing a Kansas City Chiefs uniform.
RaiderBen, I'm a Raider though.
His ass cheeks fucking clap.
I'm a Raider though.
Nah, so y'all can go on this pick because I know a lot of you guys, a lot of you offensive line guys. I know Jeff and Nate. You guys are probably super ecstatic about this pick. I liked it a lot too. It was back-to-back picks too, which was crazy.
Linemen, man. Some of them are some of the best sometimes that come out of these small colleges, these offensive linemen. So I got a lot of hope for this kid. I really do.
I actually think that you could keep him at tackle. He might be able to switch back out when Miller decides to take that walk
Just
into the
looking
sunset.
at him, he looks like a fucking monster of a guard.
Whoever it is, like if it's this guy, like I said before, we really need to prep for life after Colton Miller and get a guy who can develop and concentrate on being the best he can be at left tackle specifically. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully it's this guy.
6'5", 311.
This kid could have gone way earlier than what we picked him too.
Yeah, they said he was a third-round pick, and the Raiders got him at the end of the third round. They said it was great value pick.
Yeah, 6'5", 311 sounds like fucking guard.
That sounds guard, exactly, bro. It spills guard all over it, in my opinion. Like, what is Colton Miller, like 6'7"?
6'8", yeah.
Yeah, bro, he's a fucking monster. Like, you can get away. It depends on the handedness of your quarterback. If you got a right-handed quarterback, which is your prototypical quarterback in the National Football League, bro, you want your left tackle to be tall as fuck, like fucking the Twin Towers type shit, boy. You want a big-ass fucking monster skyscraper out there, right? On the right side, you can kind of get away with a shorter right tackle. But it flip-flops if you have a left-handed quarterback. If you got a left-handed quarterback, you want that right tackle to be tall as fuck, and you want the left tackle to be a little bit shorter.
Side is.
Exactly, that's where I'm getting at.
Just real quickly, as much as I like this guy to develop him, ideally I want him to sit for at least a year. Is there anybody on this panel who's comfortable with having him start effective immediately at left tackle? Because I
like both of our new
left tackle.
No, he's projected to be a guard off of Kasi. He's a tackle, but they said that the Raiders plan on playing him at guard. There could be a situation. What Nutty Raider Nate said, where he likes him at tackle. But they drafted him to play guard. They've already pretty much said it.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'd like to see us do this year is they might do a turn training camp. Give Glaze some playtime on the left side and see how that goes. Because that may also help prolong Miller, too. Because if you put Miller on the right side, because his bad shoulder's his left.
Look, Richard Lyon, I know, I said, he knows his shit. He said an A+ on Charles Grant.
Colton Miller, he played right tackle in college, too.
My thing with Glaze, bro, he's doing just fine where he's at in the
I know that, but
the technique from playing right to playing left is so different. Don't fuck with his
that's
chemistry.
what I'm saying.
I'm 100% with you, Westside. 100%. Don't fuck with it. Leave him there.
I mean, is it the going narrative? Don't fix what's not broken. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Correct. Which is why I don't want us moving Glaze to.
We only won 4 games last year. That's pretty broken to me.
I mean, now if you put it,
but like if you're gonna put it like that, then you would say like then everything's broken, like Brook Bowers. Like that's
I agree, Apicasi. Everything's broken, bro. If you put it like that, we've been broken for 20 years. You were. Yep. The only thing that ain't broken on our goddamn team is Brock Bowers. That's about it, bro.
As broken as our team has been, bro, we do have some parts that are working.
Bro, we got some foundational pieces for sure, bro.
I like that, Westside. I like that.
We do, bro. If you look at some of the young talent on our team, bro. Like we got Brock Bowers, you know what I'm saying? Now we got Ashton Genty, you know what I'm saying? We got, this kid I think right here is going to be a foundational guy, bro. I think this guy's going to be really good for us. You got Jacorian Bennett, as long as he stays healthy, bro. I think he's going to be a foundational piece for us. You know what I'm saying? I feel this JPJ, there you go. I skipped him. Thank you. Yep, DJ Glaze, Isaiah Palomau, dude. I think Isaiah Palomau is going to be a fucking staple in that secondary, bro. Like and then
I have high hopes for Jeremy Chin.
Yeah, I know. I love Jeremy Chin, bro. And Jeremy Chin was a second round pick by the Carolina Panthers, bro. A high second-round pick at that, bro. And when he came out of that draft, dog, he was drafted behind J.C. Horn. When Carolina brought in that coach from college. I think it's from Baylor. I can't think of his fucking name. But they were shit that year. But they used their entire draft class on defense. They had some great picks in them top 3-4 rounds, and one of them was Jeremy Chin. I love Jeremy Chin, bro. Like I was mad when we got rid of Trayvon Merrick, bro. But I have a lot of respect for Jeremy Chin and what he brings to the Raiders, bro.
Free agent signing.
Yeah, I like him a lot for sure. But yeah, man, like I said, you guys go on about this guy, bro. If anybody's got anything else, bro, I really don't know too much about linemen, to be honest. But I just know this was a good pick. I'll tell you guys that this was a good pick for the Raiders, bro, for sure.
I think it's a good pick too.
If you go back and watch the show from Friday night, you'll see me smiling like a son of a bitch after these two.
I'm not mad at it. Yeah, it definitely made the draft better for me as well. It's I was kind of scratching my head up to this point, and we finally addressed it. So yeah, Rodgers definitely. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the Rodgers pick was the head scratcher, bro. Like I said earlier when I gave my assessment on that, just like, what the fuck is this?
But this one
I heard about that, and I only said it because I heard about this kid. I didn't even know who the fuck this Rodgers. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh, Texas A&M. Shout out Tyree Wilson, boy. You just got your homie in here. He ain't worth the shit because you could barely beat. If you beat him, then he definitely ain't worth the fuck. You know what I'm saying? If you're going up against him, beating him, he probably ain't definitely worth the fuck. But this kid right here, from all the research I've did, the only knock on this kid, bro, he's from a small school. That's it, bro. That's fucking it. He's got all the physical assets to play fucking offensive lineman. If you look at his stats in college, bro, dude was a fucking stud, bro. A stud.
After think about it, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know, when people tell you trust the process, trust the vision the coaches have, this is why you trust the process. You know, I wasn't happy at first in the first round because of what we did, the way I wanted to do it initially. And if you sit there and just pay attention to how we drafted the rest of the draft, this is what trust the process gets you. It gets you, especially for me as being an offensive line mentality, you get the guy that you know is going to be able to come in and help. You know, this is a guy that could actually end up being a starter at guard for the, at the start of the season. I think there's a good chance that him, and if Kappa turns his shit around, could be the starter on the left side.
I'm not a fan of Kappa at all, unless he can get back to his Tampa form.
Turn it around. Yeah, one bad year.
Right now, I think it's gonna be Colton Miller, Jordan Meredith, JPJ, Dylan Parham, and Del Margolese, bro. Now I agree. Like I'm not. Like I said, I'm not. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I want like he's my guy or something. He's not. Until there's somebody that's better, guys. Like there's nobody better, and hopefully this guy could be his replacement. Bro, they drafted him to play guard. I'm not saying he's not. So do you think Alex Kappa is better than Parham? I don't. Unless he can get back to his Tampa form. If he can get back to his Tampa form, yes.
Cody Whitehead vibes. Kappa gives me Cody Whitehead vibes.
Exactly, off of Kasi. That's why let's just rock with Parham unless this guy or the other guy, that we just had before him can produce, bro. We can't replace them right now, bro. We're gonna get worse. You think Dylan Parham's worse, bro? If this dude don't pan, it can definitely get worse, dude. Our offensive line was top half of the NFL last year with Parham, bro, and that was with Andre James starting for most of the fucking year.
Who, bro? The PFF?
The NFL, bro. What was our offensive line ranked last year? Like 16 or something. It was just we were terrible against the run. But we had a good pass offensive line last year, bro. That's Parham, and that's what Parham sucks at, dude. He's a better pass blocker than he is as a run blocker, bro. Because he's weak, he's undersized, he can't move nobody. But he can.
If you can't run the ball, you're not a good old line.
I get it, Nutty Raider Nate. I get it, and that's me. I'm a running back guy. But
hopefully one of these guys can do that, right? One of these two has got to be a guy who can contribute, hopefully immediately in that interior. And if that's the case, then we're looking good.
I think the preseason roster, Pete, is 98 players. I think 98 or 93 players are on your preseason roster. Or your off-season roster.
Sorry, Bender. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Like I said,
Look,
bro,
until we get both of these guys on the field in training camp and everything, we don't know if they're gonna
You're right.
if they're gonna steal any of these other guys' jobs or anything. But as of right now, like Ben said, that's what our offensive line is looking like as of right now until something changes.
I'm just a firm believer of, dude, you don't just replace somebody just because you don't like them. That's what the Raiders. It's almost like that's what the Raiders.
No. I get
that's almost like what the Raiders did with Derek Carr, bro. Like, I'm just gonna get rid of him and replace him with Jimmy Garoppolo because I don't like him, because Jimmy Garoppolo is definitely not better than Derek Carr. I don't like Derek Carr move is what that was, bro. And I don't want to move on. I don't want to. Sorry.
You got rid of the one in the hand for the two in the bush.
Exactly, bro.
Could ever do.
Yes, I'm not with that, bro. If we do not have a competent upgrade at said position, regardless of position, you don't move on. That's just my opinion. And maybe this guy beats him out. It's Dylan Parham. I think after this year we'll have to get a contract, and maybe this guy beats him out, and the Raiders like, well, we don't need you no more. We're not going to pay you. This guy is going to take over for you. You know.
This is his final year. I'm not sure. But, the other thing, too, is, like, the grades everybody wants to give and everything. Like, what's your final draft grade? Somebody asked me today on another show, and I said, I'm giving it an I as an incomplete. Talk to me when training camp starts and preseason starts, and then I'll tell you what I think the grade is from our draft class. Because until they stop playing, there's no telling what any of these guys are going to do. Even Genty. You don't know how good he's really going to be until you get him into game time.
He's the one
exactly, Ern. He's the one guarantee, bro. I feel like he's the Brock Bowers of last year.
Guy on the screen right now, without guys like this guy on the screen right now, and the guys that we already have on the roster that are starters, turn it around and can do it and make holes for this kid.
Hey, so let me
be mediocre at best.
So let's not forget Josh Jacobs pretty much ran behind this same offensive line, if not worse, and still led the league in rushing. You know what I mean?
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was that.
When he was here, his last year here with us, he did.
But he was injured. He was injured a lot, bro, and that was the main knock on Josh. But when he was healthy, bro, and he stayed healthy, he ran behind a mediocre offensive line. He led the league in rushing with a mediocre offensive line. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to and this is the thing. I'm not trying to discredit offensive linemen. The point that I'm making is that Ashton Genty is a guy that. He's the guy that don't really need a great offensive line, bro. Most of his yards are after contact. If you hit him, he's still going to move. And that's one thing that Josh Jacobs was really good at, bro. You know how many fucking times Josh Jacobs was blown up in the backfield in 2021 when he led the league in rushing and still scored it out and got 20-yard carries and 30-yard carries? Ashton Genty is that kind of back.
From the moment Josh Jacobs put on a fucking Raider jersey, he was that back.
Exactly. And Ashton Genty is that kind of back. The point I'm making is you don't have to have a great offensive line for Ashton, bro. I don't think Geno needs a great offensive line. The Seahawks had the worst offensive line in the NFL, dude.
I don't like that mentality.
But he had receivers, though, too.
I know you don't, Nate, because you're an offensive line guy, but I'm just saying, like, it's not...
a back burner like that. Yeah,
I'm not, Nutty Raider, Nate. I'm not. I feel like unless you can get everybody...
Like the offensive line is solid now. You just got to let them gel together.
I just feel like Nutty Raider Nate, dude, like we had a bigger hole, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, bro. We had a bigger need at playmaker than we did at offensive line, bro. We had no playmakers, dude. We had nobody who could make a play. We had nobody outside of Brock Bowers, if we put the ball in their hand, that we had confidence with them doing anything, dude. Besides Brock and Jakobi, but Jakobi's kind of slow. You know what I'm saying? Like, we needed playmakers, dog, and now we got playmakers, bro. I think now that we got playmakers, bro, going forward, you'll see the Raiders address a lot of trenches, bro. A lot of trenches, bro. But you got to have playmakers. Bro, we're in a division. We're in the AFC West, dude. We got to be able to score points. We got
the biggest upgrade. Yeah, you're right. The biggest upgrade we did was the offensive coordinators. I think that's
yes.
I'm kind of looking forward to.
Dude, we looked somewhat different. Yeah, because we looked somewhat competent with the last two interim offensive coordinators, and we looked with fucking old buddy that was a fucking a mainstay. Luke Getsy. That dude was supposed to be our next offensive coordinator. We looked better with our interim offensive coordinators than we did with him. So we're definitely going to be a lot better with Chip.
Bro, I have Bears fans.
But again,
Bears fans was
laughing at us, bro. Yep.
First of all, Genty is no Barry Sanders. So what I'm getting at is until this kid hits it to the pro level on the field and we see what he's got for real in actual game speed time, there's no telling what's going to... Because running backs have been selected first and have just washed out the first season. It can happen, even though they're slated to be the best. Yeah,
Todd Gurley, he was hella good, but then he washed out hella hard.
You know, so there's no telling what's really going to happen until the season starts. That's why I'm saying I'm still reserving judgment on an overall grade until we start getting into the season itself.
But Jeff, the reason we ask is so you can see what your grade is like right after the draft, as opposed to your grade after training camp. That's the whole reason.
And I get that, and I gave grades on players themselves, but like an overall draft grade, you can't evaluate the overall draft until you start seeing some of these guys.
You can't do it 3 years down the line. That's why I personally don't grade picks until 3 years later. But like, I guess you can grade like how you generally feel about the said pick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I guess that's what these guys, the panel's doing.
So you guys ready to move on to the next pick? Because the next pick is where shit starts to get real. And this is Dante Thornton, the wide receiver, 6
I like
foot,
this guy.
6'5", 4.3 flat. Led the country in yards per reception at over 22.5 yards per reception. DK Metcalf all over him. Just a little. He's not as strong as DK, but probably faster. Y'all can go.
I don't think DK Metcalf is his comp, bro. I mean, a lot of other people.
No, I'm saying like this is Pete Carroll's DK Metcalf.
Oh, for sure. I was gonna say, to me, just from the eye test, I haven't watched him play, but from the eye test, his comp is Randy Moss, bro.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss-esque, bro.
Big play receiver, big, tall, skinny, big play receiver.
Like, if you go back and watch it, if you watch Tennessee's highlights, bro, and like I said, I'm not a Tennessee fan, but I've watched some highlights. Tennessee specifically built their offense around getting this guy in space, bro. And when he was left in space, an opportunity to... So pretty much what I'm saying is they would spread the defense out, bro, and they would allow him to just work, dog. And he killed almost everybody he played against, bro. He fucking killed. 80-yard touchdown receptions, 90-yard touchdowns, jump balls, get the ball in your hands and run. And I know when you think of a speedy receiver, you think of drops. This kid does not have a drop issue, bro. You know what I'm saying? This dude had a nobody quarterback, dog. They haven't had a quarterback since Hendon Hooker left, bro. This dude had a nobody quarterback throwing the ball and led the fucking entire country in yards per reception. Big play guy. A guy that's going to give an opportunity to Geno Smith, who has the best deep accuracy in the National Football League, to feed him, bro. I'm so excited. A guy like this is going to open up the underneath guys like Brock Bowers and Jakobi and Bech and all these guys. But yeah, dude, beast. Steal, bro, in my opinion, dog.
This one and Janty are the ones that had me so juiced for this season. I can't wait for this shit to start now because of these two guys.
Get speed like that, bro. I wish you would put 8 or 9 guys in the box to stack Ginty, because as soon as you do that, bro, hopefully you got 4-2 guys in your secondary. Because if you don't got 4-2 guys in your secondary, boy, I'm telling you, we're gonna start. It's gonna be a track meet, boy. The Raiders are getting back. Like, Al Davis is smiling at this pick right now, bro.
Oh,
He's smiling in his grave at this pick right now, doc.
Can I get in there after you, Jeff?
Go ahead.
How tall is this?
6'5", bro. 6'4.5", 6'5", 4.3 flat, bro, at the combine. 4.3 flat. Devontae's like 6'2", bro.
6'3".
So when was the last time we had a kid this big?
This guy, in terms of measurables, check this out, Jeff. Let's put a little bit more context on it. In terms of his measurables, his size and speed, he's the fastest, tallest receiver drafted since fucking Calvin Johnson.
Have you seen the video on IG of when after he got drafted and he's saying like Raider Nation, like I'm ready, like something along those lines? You see how he's decked out on black? Man, he looks good in black. Like he looks like he's just he's born to be a Raider. I like his attributes. A big guy, a speedster, and his playmaking ability. Do you remember? I'll give you another little quick history throwback. And granted, he's not the same size. But do you remember the last guy drafted out of Tennessee at wide receiver?
Denarius Moore.
Bingo.
Bam! My boy Daenerys. Never forget the double coverage catch against Buffalo, boy. Jason Campbell said, Daenerys, you go, boy. And we throwing this bitch Daenerys Moore in double coverage. And I believe that was Darren McFadden's second game in the NFL, boy. My boy Daenerys Moore was a fucking beast.
Keaton, we just cut Keaton. He was from Tennessee last year.
But we didn't draft him.
You're right. But
I'm talking about drafting specifically.
Yeah,
and the guy who did
Daenerys
work for us in Daenerys Moore, Keaton couldn't.
You know what? Everybody else is going to go get Ashton Genty's jersey. I think I'm going to go get Dante Thornton's jersey because that's the type of shit that I do.
Yeah, this guy has a chance to have a big year.
Crabtree's jersey and all that shit, and Cooper's jersey. I had Marquette King's jersey.
It's just going to stop from day one then, pretty much.
I had King's jersey too. I used to have that in color rush.
Oh, for real?
So I feel like what this kid could do, bro, is even in limited reps, and I mean just in limited reps, bro, I still feel like...
All eyes on Cheat.
I fucked with Chaz Shillings, boy, but Chaz Shillings wasn't as fast as this
Glass
kid, bro.
Shillings.
And he may have been glass, bro, but he was a fucking beast when he was healthy. But I agree. I fucked with Chaz Shillings. But yeah, I feel like this kid right here, even in limited reps, guys, like just coming in, you feel me, third downs, whatever, as a deep threat, I honestly feel like this guy could have 700 plus receiving yards, and probably be, up there in terms of the highest yards per reception guy in the National Football League as a rookie. And I say that because one of the main reasons why is because Geno is the best deep ball thrower in the NFL. As soon as they start cheating down, bro, and they don't pay attention, and this kid's out there, bro, they run play action, dog. They double team Brock Bowers, bro. This kid's gonna run this dude's gonna run right by him, bro. Electrifying speed, bro. We're talking the highest rated athlete in terms of, at wide receiver, in terms of he's 6'5". Nobody at that height has ran a 4.3 or less since Calvin Johnson. And I'm not putting the Calvin Johnson tag on this because I don't like comparing kids to legends, bro. But I'm talking that is a fucking fact, bro. What up with you, Bugsy? Saludos. This dude has a fucking superstar written all over him, bro. All over him, dog. One play touchdowns. Deshaun Jackson with size, bro. Randy Moss, like Ern said, Randy Moss. He's got the size and shit like Randy. This dude's this dude's gonna be a problem, bro. Like he will. He's another guy that has to be coached up like that corner that we drafted earlier.
Yeah, granted, they have right away. Sorry. That's all I'm going to say.
Granted, they have different skill sets. Like the guy we drafted in round 2 and this guy, different kind of athletics traits and that. But surely one of these two guys has got to work out and solidify that other side, right? Surely.
Yeah, we got to... they definitely make us better.
I hope so, right?
They definitely make us better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They definitely make us better. Undoubtedly, definitely make us better.
Chip Kelly's gonna find a way to yeah. It's gonna. I'm not mad at this pick at all. This is a great pick.
Yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah.
And that's why I posted on my shit, boy. I have a need for speed, boy, and we addressed two positions. We addressed two positions where you need speed at, boy. Receiver and corner, dude. In terms of the guys that have to run with the fastest guys in the NFL, dude, we need corners and receivers who can run. You feel me? I love Trey Tucker, bro. I do. But this dude right here, this is gonna be the could possibly be the end of Trey Tucker. Because he at the combine it's 4.3, right? This dude probably on a good day could run 4.25. run a 4.27, right? So I'm taking 6'5" at 4.25, 4.27 over whatever old buddy Trey Tucker is 5'8", at 4.27. So
with cleats on.
So.
Jeff, did you get the
our
reference?
receiver core is so depleted, bro. There might be a world where we keep both of them.
Oh, no, I think they're both going to stay for sure. You can't get rid of... That's why I said you can't get rid of Trey Tucker. At minimum, you got to make him a return specialist. He's a third-round pick, dude. You just can't kick third-round picks to the curb like that. You at least got to try to get something out of him.
You got to have it sure-handed. I think Bech is more likely a returner.
I was just saying, when RaiderBen he did the need for speed, and I did the Oh, it seemed like you were the only one who got the reference.
Oh, I didn't even know that's what you did. I was giggling at. He said the Need for Speed.
Nobody got it. Okay, leave me hanging.
He said nobody got it.
You know Top Gun when
I've
when,
never seen
Maverick
Top
says
Gun.
that,
That's why I didn't get it.
I feel the need for speed, and then him and Goose go.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Wait, Ben said he never seen Top Gun, bro.
No.
Somebody told
And he said that Need for Speed. Damn.
No, I always thought Need for Speed was a video game.
I've never seen Top Gun. Who said that?
I thought Need for Speed was a video game. I know it was based off a movie.
Who's never seen that?
I haven't.
Top Gun.
You just said it,
Top Gun is a movie about fighter jets and pilots in the Navy.
How's this fucker still got his man card if you've never seen Top Gun?
Hey, I don't know. I ain't never seen it.
Dude, that's like a rite of passage.
Okay.
Right.
I'll check it out then. Yeah, I ain't never seen it.
I'll give you that, Jeff.
Wow.
Great movie, all time great. Anyway.
So they have this is the analysis on Dante Thornton. Before we move on, the Raiders already added one receiver with the selection of Jack Bech, and now they add another Tennessee receiver, Dante Thornton. He finished last season with 661 yards and 6 touchdowns. They give the grade a A-. It has been stated before, but this feels like an Al Davis pick. Thornton Jr., an absolute burner as he ran a 4.3 flat at the 40 on the NFL Combine, and he also averaged an astounding 25.4 yards per reception, which led the SEC for a 4th-round selection. This is a home run, pun intended.
This is the personification of an Al Davis pick.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I love that pick, dude.
Was he the number 1 option in Tennessee?
I don't know. I didn't watch Tennessee, but I just know he was a beast.
He could be because he has very low. He has very limited receptions, but his yards per catch is crazy.
Well, exactly, Ern. He was primarily the guy that they just engineered to go deep, and that was it.
I'm hearing, he's a one-trick pony. He struggles with the route tree. He needs to work on his routes, but that's where Chip Kelly comes in.
What up, Willie Wayne? Saludos.
He can maneuver some sort of special play calls for him. So,
right. So the opposite of Jack Bech.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. This is pretty much how they counteracted that Jack Bech pick.
25 yards per catch.
25.4 yards per reception.
And Learn just highlighted this guy can block as well.
Yeah, he's another guy like about Jack Bech. Like, you might sleep on this 25.4 yards per reception, but he don't shy away from contact, bro.
That's 26 catches in an entire season. I just did the math on that. 26 catches. That's not a lot of reps. I didn't realize it was that little.
One trick pony.
And that's why we got him in the whatever round this is.
4th round.
I love it. I love this pick.
I like the pick. I like the speed option. I like the height.
Think about the value of where we got him, what we got, and where we got.
Well, that's just it. It better turn out to be more than 25 catches.
Hey, Loon's an Oregon fan. I guess this kid played at Oregon too, so he's a transfer guy. So yeah, I definitely heard he don't shy away from contact at all.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Or maybe Tennessee played Oregon.
6'5". He better not be pussy.
So this is a guy that I like a lot right here, guys.
Right.
Tonka Hemingway, defensive tackle, South Carolina. I believe they had 5 or 6 guys on their defense in South Carolina that were drafted in this draft. So they had a NFL defense. This guy was one of the better ones on it, and also played a little bit of offense. Ran the ball. This is another guy. I like this pick, bro. I like this pick. I don't know too much about him. But one thing I do know is he's definitely an impact player. He was an impact player for his school on both sides of the football. Is going to be able to make an impact probably early as a rotational player, interior defensive lineman, but as a guy that, like I think Afakasi said earlier, bro, like he's one of them tush-push guys, bro. They come in and they literally will snap him the football, bro, and just let him run on offense, bro. It's going to be interesting. These are the kind of picks you're going to see in the later rounds, and I like it, bro.
You think you're thinking about the wrong guy. It's the next guy.
No, they both did, bro.
Both of them did, but like the other guy had a little bit more in terms of statistically being.
Yeah, this guy was better on defense.
Look, this guy can carry the ball in the goal line situation for you.
Yeah, goal line and short yardage. The last guy can too. He was just more productive on the offense. This guy was more productive on defense. That's where they flip flop. This guy's a better defensive player than an offensive player. The other guy is more of an offensive. He's more of a short. He was better in his short yardage shit than he was on defense.
Look, I really like this pick and everything. My biggest question is that, bro, he's a tweener. Like, tweeners are a luxury pick. Like, you take a tweener when you have everything already filled out. We have problems with pass rusher and with defensive tackle. We can't afford to take an undersized tackle.
But we're in the fourth round, though. This is where you start taking shots in the fourth round. I would agree.
That's a good point. I'll give you that. Okay.
Speaking of taking shots, I got something to say about that.
Go ahead.
Do you mind if I have a take?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, and you guys have probably already heard me having a few spiels on a few different lines, including my own, about the defensive interior situation and how we've drafted since the year 2017. And I'm going to share a quick stat with you because I just had a quick look at all the guys we have drafted. We've drafted 8 since 2017, at defensive tackle specifically, right? And check this out. 31 QB pressures, 20 tackles for a loss, 10 sacks. That's between 8 of them in 8 years. I am getting sick and tired of drafting defensive tackles that are just not even worth a damn or even being a rotational guy. None of these guys have panned out, and I'm getting sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of these Jihad Wards, PJ Halls, these Eddie Vanderdozes, Neil Farrells, Matthew Butlers, Byron friggin' Youngs, and friggin' even Nesta Silvera, who I like for a minute. Like, I'm tired of these guys. Can one of these two guys, please, one of these two guys, pan up to be at least a decent rotational guy? Because we haven't even gotten that when we try to swing for a defensive tackle. Please.
Yeah, defensive tackles up there at linebacker. Go ahead, Nate.
How much of that was coaching though, AR? Because it's just like those guys leave us and then they go have success elsewhere, and the scheme fits better for them elsewhere.
Yeah, but who did? Who? Jihad Ward? So what? What did he do? He's still doing some things, but as a Raider specifically, I said what I said. None of these guys did shit. Like, not even a rotational guy. We haven't even got a rotational guy.
Maurice Hurst was probably one. I fucked with Maurice Hurst.
Maurice Hurst being the best of the bunch. And even he was only around for what, 2 years? As a Raider?
None of them even stepped for even more than 3 years.
Mo Hurst was supposed to be a first-round pick that year, bro, or at worst a second-round pick, but he got that heart condition before the draft.
A lot of this too is because we're constantly changing regimes and we're changing.
Yeah, you can't develop.
It's just
I don't care what it is, what the reason behind the failures of all of them. I just want, please, just one of these guys.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, but you got to keep drafting. You can't not draft.
I'm not saying not. I'm not saying not to do it. I said what I said. I just want one of these two guys.
I agree.
Please finally turn the ship around and be the guy that we draft at defensive tackle specifically. That at the very least be a rotational guy, a good one at that. At best, if we can get ourselves a starter, then cool.
I'm more mad we didn't address the nose tackle position, an actual run stopper. We got these little tweeners instead. It's yeah.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I just want one of them to work out. Just one, please.
Mm-hmm.
Well, honestly, I think that he's probably end up being a rotational guy anyway. Because I think Butler has that other defensive tackle locked down next to Christian Wilkins as far as every down back.
And I like our starters. I just want a rotational. Like I said, at the very least, can one of these guys be a decent rotational guy? Because none of those cats I highlighted before was even that. Bar my Hurst. He was good for a minute.
What's coming out about Wilkins? Is he healthy now? Is it all of a sudden, or was it
bro,
fake
I think
news?
Sanjeev just out here just being a dumb fuck, bro, because he's the only fucking person in all of fucking Twitter that posted that bullshit, bro.
Fuck y'all talking about?
Sanjeev posted some shit that Wilkins is still having foot issues. But my thing is, how would he be 100% participant in the OTAs if his foot wasn't cleared? Because don't you have to get physicals and all that shit, and doctors to sign off on that shit?
They said he hurt himself.
He was out here posting shit, saying something about his foot was still bad. But like, I searched all up and down Twitter, and he's literally the only person that posted that shit.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't watch Sanjeev, bro.
in my opinion, in my eyes, he just lost a lot of credibility with me for that bullshit.
That fool got embarrassed on Twitter years ago, though.
I like Sanjeev, but according to him, every player we drafted, every undrafted free agent we bring in the door are going to be the next big thing. And
he does that because he does that for his numbers.
He does that for every player we bring in the door is going to be the
Hey,
next
shout out
big
to
thing.
Jeff, man. He gifted out 5 memberships. Much love. So, I mean, I'm eating. That's why my camera's off. But I like this pick. Like I say, it adds more depth to the trenches. You can never go wrong getting more depth in the trenches. I definitely think this guy, just based off, like Afakasi said, all those other fucking dudes, bro. Like, somebody's gonna have to step up at some point.
Bums.
Like we said before about Zamir White. Like, can you possibly get worse? I mean, anything is possible, right? But I definitely think these guys have potential to be a lot better. Primarily this guy on defense because, like I said, bro, he had like 5 other teammates on that same defense that were also drafted. You know what I mean? So that says a lot, bro. That means they had a pro style defense. A lot of those guys knew how to play. So.
Hey, I just talked about an advantage that this guy's going to have playing defensive tackle in goal line situations. Remember, on offense, he's used to playing goal line situations, so he's going to know how to look at the defense and be like, no, we're weak right here because this is where I would look at as the hole to go to. You know what I'm saying? Type shit.
And it's crazy because, you get
reverse engineering the offense.
You get a guy that Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly can work with, bro. Like, they can both find a way to make this dude work.
Yeah.
Just like this guy. This guy right here. This guy is the better offensive guy right here. J.J. Pegues.
He's a defensive tackle.
They're both defensive tackles.
I thought he was the second best two-way player in this draft.
This is supposed to be a nasty motherfucker. They love him, bro. Scouts
only behind
love
Travis
this guy.
Hunter. Yeah. I thought
He has a ridiculous stat in terms of like what he did lining up as a fullback. Like when it comes to receptions.
What up, babe? What up,
runs for
Dixon?
touchdown. Like it's something crazy, or even first downs. Like the limited touches he got were either first downs or touchdowns. But like
Yeah, it was like 17
hope
of his
he brings that
21
dynamic in,
carries.
But I would rather I hope he turns out as a defensive tackle first and foremost.
What, so both these defensive tackles we got are versatile. We can play them on offense.
Yes,
Yeah,
Ern.
this
Yes.
this guy has more.
I thought it was only the other one.
This
No,
guy
this
has
guy
better
is better
offensive production.
This guy is better.
Oh wow. Okay.
17 of this guy's 21 carries in college on offense went for first downs or touchdowns.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Ridiculous.
Okay, nice.
Sorry,
He's not.
Raiders,
He has like
you
7
get your
touchdowns
money.
as well.
He's not a true defensive tackle. They moved him. They made him switch positions like midway through his first year, I think.
I actually like this pick, to be honest with you.
I like it a lot. I thought he was the best two-way player, second best two-way player coming out of college.
Like I said, can one of these guys just pan out and be a decent
I think one of
rotational
them's
guy
gonna be fine.
at the very least? Please.
Well, this is what I was saying earlier about our front line and our defense, the rotational process we're going to have now. You know, Max is going to be able to take plays off to prolong his career, because if he plays 99% of the plays like he's been doing the last few years, he's not going to last. You know, and what are we paying him for now? To what? Sit on the bench or be in rehab all the time because he's injured? You know, he's going to take plays off. He can't be out there every single defensive snap. It's just not feasible. You know, he's getting older. Defensive players, on the edge especially, they take a beating. They're constantly on the go, constant pounding. That's different, you know? Your front tackle's a little bit different. They're a little bit more slower type hits, you know?
Well, then that means Tyree, you need to be the next man up and start cashing in the checks that we invested in you with our first round selection of the guy, right?
Yeah, Tyree's got no shot, man. That's so sad to say that.
If he doesn't make it in the games this year and have at least some success, that kid is done in my book. He's already almost done in my book as it is.
Have you guys seen his last? They just did a video with the Raiders, where they were welcoming in the rookies and telling them what they need to do. And Tyree Wilson was on there, bro. He still looks skinny as fuck, bro. And he's in his third year. He's still got noodle arms, bro.
You know what's going to happen with Tyree Wilson is he's going to get cut, and then he's going to go to Philadelphia or San Francisco where he has no expectations. They're going to coach him up the right way. He's going to end up being pretty good.
Strength's not his issue, Benther. I don't think. Yeah.
Let's just hope with this regime that's in here now, the coaches staff.
But he still looks little for being as high as drafted as he is.
He's got to put some beef on.
Yeah, he looks little, dude. Like, dude, you were drafted in Max Crosby's third year. At least he looked like he was getting a little bit of mud. This dude still looks like he's freshly coming out of college, bro. Like, the fuck are you doing, bro?
I don't care about size and all that. I just care about production.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
The buffets.
Like Max Crosby doesn't look like the player that he is. Let's put it that way. If you see him in street clothes standing next to somebody that has no clue who the hell he is, and you say he's the top defensive end for the Raiders, he's the number one defensive player for the Raiders, top 5 in the NFL, and they have no clue who he is, don't even know football. They're like, no way, look at this guy. He's not that big.
Great point.
You know?
Great point.
But when he's on the field, completely different beast. You know?
Which is why I said what I said. I don't care so much about size and all that. I mean, look at what Zamir White did when he put on the pounds and was lifting all kinds of ridiculous weights, right? You know what I'm saying? All I care about is production. And to your point, RaiderBen, and I like your quote, like, to be a rotational guy picked in the top 10 is unacceptable. I do not care what anybody says about him doing this and that in the rotation. Like, that's not good enough. And especially come year 3, you need to be doing better than just being a rotational guy in spots.
When you draft somebody that high, bro, you draft them to be a day 1 game changer for your football team, bro. Not to be a guy that's going to have to wait 2 or 3 years to see what we got in him. Nah, fuck that. Those are the guys you draft in the 3rd round, bro.
Even if game 1 game changer is unrealistic, at least a full-time starter.
Yep.
Yeah, at least that. That's a better way to say it.
Like you said, Banter, a rotational guy top 10 is unacceptable.
Like, I love Malcolm Kuntz. But you want to know why we have to pay Malcolm Kuntz? Because Tyree Wilson ain't worth the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be real. I mean, if Tyree Wilson was worth 2 fucks, we'd have that $20 million in our bank account right now spending on something else.
Could have offered him to the Patriots and keep fucking Chase on.
I'm just being real. Like, that's you and the fact that you have guys like Malcolm Butler, or not Malcolm Butler, but Malcolm Kuntz that was drafted in the 4th round, that's more valuable than you, bro, and you were drafted in the top 10, bro, is fucking pathetic, dude. You should spit on your life. You should just spit on yourself. Spit up in the air and walk underneath it. Like, you're a spitball to National Football League. Like, you're just a shame. Go bag some groceries. Go be Kurt Warner without the Super Bowls or something, because you're shit. Like, you ain't worth the fuck. Respectfully. Non-respectfully. Fuck him. I don't like him. I don't like him just much. I like Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is a piece of shit, too. I fucking hated that motherfucker, too. That motherfucker wasn't doing shit but collecting the bag.
He didn't do shit while he was here.
The only play that motherfucker ever made, bro, was a fucking play against New England. That was it. And that's something you can probably... That's probably something you can respect. But other than that, I didn't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was really some people saying that he's going to be a Hall of Famer before the great Khalil Mack. Huh.
Right? So here's your 6th round pick, guys. Tommy Millott.
This kid's special right here, man. This kid...
Yeah. He played quarterback at Montana State, drafted as a receiver. This is the guy they were talking about earlier, the white boy that's extremely fast.
4.39.
Quick. Because there's fast and there's quick, and he's both. So it's
like I said, I don't do comparisons and shit, but they were doing comps of old buddy Julian Edelman, bro, on this kid. Oh, my shit lagged out.
With this player comp, I want to see
joking.
Yeah, no more player comps, guys. No more player comps.
We're off air.
Fuck that. You just did a player comp.
No, I didn't do that. That's the national. That's the national media player comp, not mine.
I think this is Taysom Hill light.
Okay.
I think he's better than Taysom Hill, to be honest with you.
I think we're off air, guys.
No, we're not. We're good. We're right here.
My shit fucking up.
Yeah, your shit.
That's just you. That's just you on that Chromebook, bro.
It's usually me, but this time it's not me.
All right.
Yeah, we here.
And I don't agree with the Edelman either. I think he's faster than him. I think he's a better player than him, to be honest with you.
Look, a dynamic player, like if he can even do some things in spots, then that's cool. But we'll see if he can find his way on the roster or if he's just another one of these project guys who just doesn't really pan out.
Yeah, I mean he's a 6th round pick. You know,
a 6th round guy, whatever.
Worth taking a chance, right?
Worth taking a chance.
Him in this.
I know Turf loves the kid, obviously, because that's his alma mater. That's what Turf went to, was Montana State.
Okay.
He's seen the kid play. So.
Said, guys, I like playmakers, bro. And one thing I will say, not knowing too much about this kid, is he can definitely make plays, bro. And he could be, these last 3 picks, these 2 defensive tackles and this quarterback, these are all guys that Chip Kelly can have fun with, bro. Because they could run some wildcat shit with this kid because he can throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? They can run some direct snaps, some wildcat shit with them defensive tackles. Chip Kelly is a play caller that embraces that kind of shit, bro. Always catching a defense off their heels. This has Chip Kelly written all over it, in my opinion.
What I like about this pick is he's a former quarterback and they're playing on wide receiver. Why does that make a difference? Because when he's lining up, he's going to be on the same page with the quarterback. He's going to see that defense the same way and be able to find them holes and then gaps in coverage the same way the quarterback would, just by giving the quarterback a look. The quarterback doesn't need to communicate with him. He's already on the same page. So it saves a whole lot of communication at the line.
That's a good take.
And we've already got a guy on the team that was a college quarterback but was converted to wide receiver, and that's Jakobi Meyers. And look what he's turned out to be, a wide receiver. So this kid will also be able to learn
double pass.
Yep, and which is why I think also why Jakobi Meyers is as good as he is, and why he works well with no matter who's in there at quarterback, is because of that time that he spent playing quarterback. He knows what to expect, and the quarterbacks can work with him easier. I think that's another reason too why Jakobi's so good.
Yeah, he understands what the defense is looking at.
He understands what the quarterback is seeing.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. So yeah, this guy's more of a project, more of a gadget player. I know a lot of people like him. Look, they even gave us a B+ for late in the draft, so that's cool. But this is the more of your prototypical quarterback right here, folks.
This guy here, man.
This guy was a winner, dude.
His numbers are off the charts, bro. And if this guy can pan out, his player comp to me, I know you keep on saying stop doing this shit. But, bro, if you look at Tom Brady's rookie tape from his rookie year, this guy is Tom fucking Brady. Before the greatness, this is Tom Brady, his rookie year.
And this kid's athletic. Brady wasn't.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I think with this kid, I think there's a good chance that what's his name? Connor Bradley, I think his days are numbered.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be possibly a number 3 quarterback at some point this offseason.
He's definitely sticking on the roster for sure.
I think so.
Hey guys, sorry, I don't know if you touched up on it or not earlier in the live. Did you see that Colton Miller has returned to the Raiders for voluntary?
Oh, that's what's up. No, I didn't see that. That's what's up.
Right. So
you brought that up, didn't you?
No, I don't think I did. No, I don't recall. That's the first time I heard that.
You know what? I was watching Leo's show earlier. They said it on his. That's what it was. Before the show started. Yeah. Sorry.
Good.
That's what's up, though, bro. Put that narrative to bed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Less narratives, less drama for the Raiders in the offseason, the better, folks.
Like I said, I wasn't panicking. Don't panic. It'll get done.
Nah, so anyways, I like this kid, bro. He's a winner, bro. This dude was one of the most winningest quarterbacks to come out of North Dakota State. Didn't have a losing record. The knock on him, well, I won't say if it's a knock on him, it's a knock on just the college in particular, is that Carson Wentz and Trey Lance came out of North Dakota State. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they were drafted in round 1.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz was good for a minute. He was good.
Yeah, and I
have no expectations.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not tripping off the Carson Wentz shit, because Carson Wentz was good before he fucked his knee up. You know what I'm saying? He was like Derek Carr, bro. He was good as fuck before he fucked his knee up. But he still went on to have, a career. He still went on and played. Unlike Trey Lance. I don't know if Trey Lance is going to be in the league much longer, to be honest. He's fucking ass. But I like the pick, bro. You competition at the most important position in the National Football League is better, bro. I feel like every single year you should draft a quarterback, even if it's in the later rounds.
I say that all the time. I've been saying that for weeks now. You have to. We didn't do it right when we had Carr here, and that cost us. You know, Carr never had competition, so he didn't have to really excel. He knew he had the job no matter what.
He wouldn't let us if we tried.
And then after you draft your quarterback, you got to go draft a backup just in case, because this is the NFL. No quarterback really plays 16 games every year no more.
Yeah.
Right, and to that point, like with this guy coming in, and we brought in some
Warriors got the W. Let's go.
Warriors
come out to play. You Jinx, you owe me a soda off of Casa, you son of a bitch.
What did I say? What?
I said come out to play with you. I don't know if you heard me.
Jinx.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I said Jinx. You ever heard of Jinx?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I sound like Jinx. You owe me a soda. we said like the perfect time, bro. Like in tune. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so like I said, I don't have too much about these later picks, bro. I embrace bringing in competition, especially at the quarterback. And this guy is a winner, bro. This guy is a winner.
Again, this is the late round pick that could stick, which is nice.
Y'all gonna let Avocado finish his tape?
Oh, my bad. I know Avocado was making.
No, good. Thank you, Westside. I was just saying, look, like we brought him as well as that cat from UNLV. What does anyone remember that name? The undrafted free agent.
Oh, I haven't even looked at the undrafted guys yet.
Whatever it is, like that brings me back, I guess, to who we still have as that backup guy, who people believe like he should be given a real chance. Come preseason, Aiden O'Connell better beat the brakes off these two guys to keep that backup job, because if he doesn't, and it's not by a landslide, I mean, there's a conversation, right?
I like Aiden a lot, but if he can't play without his girlfriend's knee pads when he falls, bro, I don't know if he's going to make it in the National Football League.
What the hell?
You didn't know that? When he came back from that knee injury or that bruise on his knee, we had to wear that air cast. He said his girlfriend gave him her softball cleats, so in case he fell on his knees.
He's such a
trade him to San Francisco.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, Ern. Yeah, we've had this conversation before. But that's hella weird, right? Like, boy, you got knee pads on.
Volleyball pads.
Volleyball. There you go. But still, same shit.
He said knee pads. That's a whole different thing.
Volleyball pads still cover your knees, though. They just protect you from getting scratched up from the fucking the dirt. Yeah. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. Oh, we got this guy right here. I don't know shit about this guy. It took 7 rounds for the Raiders to get a linebacker, though. Cody Linenberg.
I will say, the only thing I can speak on this is, I mean, everybody in here knows 805.
Yeah. He called it.
He was on my show with us on Saturday, and he kept calling this kid. He goes, "This is the one. I really hope this is the one that we end up getting." And he called
in round 5, right?
Yeah, he wanted him in round 5, but this guy lasted until round 7. So this kid's going to be good. I think we could probably find a spot. Another guy I think is going to make the roster. I think we got a lot of guys that are going to make this roster just out of the pure need of depth and talent that was lacking on this team prior to the draft.
Especially at linebacker, bro. We ain't got no fucking linebackers outside the top 2 linebackers, bro.
Yeah.
We're looking at like.
I look at this, go ahead.
No, Wes, you get in. My bad.
When I look at this pick, the first thing I think of is this is exactly what we expected Pete Carroll to do, is find a gem in the late rounds of the draft, especially on defense. And I think this is the guy that is going to be the gem. He's the guy that's going to stick. The guy that he sees that he can do something with that nobody else out there can do something with.
Yep. I hope so, because I guess the same thing I said about TT, you could say about linebacker. Like we've tried drafting linebackers. Usually we try late in the draft, and usually they're just not panning out. So hopefully that's the case with this guy.
Yeah, sorry, Dixon.
You highlighted before that, like, we're lacking depth, and that's, I guess, to that point, like we've got like, Eichenberg and Amari Burney, who we've drafted in previous years, and to me, none of those 2 guys have yet established themselves to be decent rotational guys. We have Amari Gaynor. I'm hoping he can take the next step, but here we go again. We're drafting a linebacker late, and I'm hoping we can hit it out of the ballpark again and try and get someone who can be worth a damn at linebacker through the draft.
Dixon said it in the chat, and I think he said it on our show the other day. Why we didn't draft the linebackers, maybe because they see something in Tony Eichenberg that no one else has seen that they can work with, and why we didn't have to address the linebacker early. And this might have been a guy they might have been targeting from the start too, knowing that they could get this kid later as they kept watching the draft and seeing this kid still dropping. You know. So I like.
He's more of a he's more of a coverage guy though, if I'm not mistaken. Whereas Eichenberg is more of that run support.
Yeah, run stopper. Yeah. Like, see, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Oh, go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
I'm gonna say this one more time. Last time, I don't trust Patrick Graham. I don't like him. I feel like he gets a pass for whatever reason. I feel like we kept him around to try to retain some of those guys that we let walk away. And yeah, they got the bag and all that, but they obviously didn't believe in Patrick Graham or Pete Carroll. So I don't believe in Patrick Graham either. So I'll say that.
Well, here's the bonus. Our head coach is a defensive-minded coach, so if Graham doesn't work out, Pete Carroll's good.
I see that.
But also, like, isn't it to your point? Like, you keep saying, like, we only won 4 games last season. Like, as much as I hated seeing a lot of these guys go, you know what I'm saying, especially on the defense side of the ball, it's to what you keep saying. We won 4 games last year.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't willing to pay him. You're right. But if they really bought in, they would have took that hometown discount and came back. But it's
I don't blame anybody going out there and getting the bag.
Look, what if some of them we weren't even offering hometown discounts? You know what I'm saying? We were just like, you know what, we're just going in another direction.
Yeah. Hobbs went for damn near nothing. You're right, Ron. Yeah. I feel like we could have paid Hobbs, but he's always injury prone or whatever you want to say.
Shit, Hobbs made like $13 million a year or $10 million. Fuck that. He made a lot of fucking money. I wasn't paying him that. Hell no.
No, he walked away.
One time in street clothes and uniform.
Green Bay got away with like $7 million a year after all the smoke cleared. Yeah,
I remember he was one of the higher paid fucking Raiders, bro, when he left this motherfucker, dog.
Hobbs?
Yeah, Hobbs. Yeah, dog.
Nah,
he got paid. He got paid like $10+ million a year for Green Bay. That's a lot for him, dog. Probably not for a healthy slot corner for that, but that dude's never fucking healthy.
Blaine's the one that got paid out of all of them.
Yeah,
he's the one who walked off with more.
Morig.
Him too.
Oh well,
Morig I think was the best of the bunch though.
Yeah. Let's start making things right with the
guys. I like the direction we're going in with safety, bro. I like Mary and everything, but I just didn't like his play style as safety. Yeah, he's going to make the tackle and everything, but he's not going to cause turnovers. He's not.
You know what gets me, Westside, is more people cry. Like I hear a lot of people crying about Marcus Epps rather than like Maury. It's like, what did Marcus Epps do outside of that one play that you keep highlighting, Benther? And I get it.
Marcus Epps sucks.
He was appreciated for being like setting the
setting the tone.
You know, the defensive alignment and that, but like he never really made any plays that stands out, right?
Well, he was ass, bro.
I'm not missing him.
Outside of rupturing fucking the receiver Justin Jefferson's fucking spleen, he never did nothing for us, bro.
Right. Not like Polamalu, who made plays that like you definitely noticed. I mean, he was the AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Yep.
Last season.
Marcus Epps never won that once for us.
No interceptions. No.
Marcus Epps is up in terms of safeties. Marcus Epps is up there with like Dallin Levitt and Eric Harris. And
I don't say that bad.
Nah, he's fucking terrible.
Hell no. But I'm just saying I'm not crying spilt milk over Marcus.
Hold on. Eric Harris was a lot better than Dallin Levitt, bro.
Yeah, but he still sucked though. Saying you're better than Dallin Levitt's like saying you're better than a pile of shit. And of course everybody's better than a pile of shit.
Eric Harris wasn't all pro or nothing. He didn't suck. He
suck. He was better at making potato chips in a potato chip factory.
Was he no pro? No, I'm saying he wasn't an all-pro or nothing. I'm saying he was serviceable.
Oh, okay.
Eric Harris was better
at San Diego game on Thursday Night Football. I remember that.
Yeah, we had them 2 or 3 interceptions versus Phillip Rivers. That was it. I mean, at least he did more than Marcus Epps. Marcus Epps never did nothing like that.
To my point, I never noticed Marcus Epps make one splash play outside of that play you keep talking about being the only time you've noticed him. So.
And Eric Harris, in my opinion, is better at making a bag of potato chips than playing football. So, you know, it is what it is. But I don't know.
This, our defensive backfield looked better with Epps in there. So
you think so?
Yeah. He had guys lined up in the right spot, and it was. Yeah.
I get that about the appreciation for Epps. Like I know that's what
overpaid,
and even the secondary guys were coming out and giving him the endorsement like that. But in terms of being a playmaker, like, give me one play.
No, you're right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Eric Harris sent a goodbye letter to Phillip Rivers. That's about the only thing he ever did.
Right.
All right, Philip, take your ass on Indianapolis. Or no, was he on Indianapolis at the time? I think he was still on the Chargers.
No, that was against San Diego on Thursday.
Yeah, he was still on the
I was
Chargers,
supposed
yeah.
to be at that game. So disappointed I wasn't.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get the fuck up out here. You guys want to throw it around, give any last thoughts on the draft? I shared everybody's link in the chat. You guys go subscribe to my guys. I'm about to go I just got done eating. I'm about to go hit the fucking meow.
Just real quickly, is there any you that does anything for you?
I'm sorry, Afakasi, you lagged. What was that? Or maybe I was lagging.
I said, like, did you see the list of undrafted free agents?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna do that show this weekend on the next podcast. So to give us something to talk about. I haven't.
I saw two on there that made my eyebrow go up, but I just can't remember who they were at the moment. But I did see two on there that I was like, huh.
What position?
I think there were skill positions. I think it was a receiver. No, I think it was a corner.
Not Miller Dodson. Miller Dodson. He's a name that like keeps coming up. That might be something.
Loon said earlier we brought in a corner on an undrafted free agent visit that ran 4.29.
Oh,
okay. Miller Dodson, Greedy Vance, Jordan Taylor, from.
I fuck with anybody's name that's greedy on defense.
Whatever.
Right. When I figure it out, I'll hit you in the group chat and I'll let you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this weekend, going through the rest of this week, I'll look at the undrafteds and we'll save another show for that. But all in all, bro, I just think the Raiders we addressed a lot of our needs without having to reach, man. I think that's been the biggest issue for the Raiders over the last 20 years. Like we've reached for our needs. I think this time the Raiders did a good job. They let a lot of these. What up, Dirty? I think they let a lot of these guys kind of fall to them. Acquired more and more picks, and like I said, I'm excited, bro. I think with Asha and Genty, obviously from day one is going to make you a lot better. That wide receiver obviously addresses a position of need. Regardless if you think of whatever role he runs, we needed receivers. In the third round, we get that corner that looks like he might be really good, and a couple of linemen, which all address needs. And then you continue to go down the fourth round. We get some speed at receiver, which we needed. You know what I'm saying? Then you continue to go down with the defensive tackles, which, we need to address, the interior of our defensive line. We have a lot of depth, in my opinion. Not a lot, but more depth on the outside of our defensive line than on the inside. And then, later in the draft, you've seen the Raiders even take some shots on, a couple quarterbacks, one of them being a project guy. So all in all, bro, I like it, bro. We were actually graded, I think, at the end as the sixth best draft out of 32 NFL teams. So if we get a top 10 draft, that's something to build on, man. I think last year we probably had a top 5, in my opinion, draft because how good Brock Bowers is. I mean, hopefully at the end of this year, this draft will be a top 5 draft. You know what I mean? But like I said, you have to start somewhere, and if you don't start drafting better, you're never going to be good, dude. You can't. Right. I feel like a lot of Raider fans get so excited for free agency because we don't draft well. I think the last couple of years, I think you got a lot of Raider fans going to start to see that the tides have turned, at least hopefully, right? But I think we have captains of our ship that I have the most confidence in, bro. That I've had in a very long time. Trust the process. I know it's hard to tell Raider fans to trust the process and be patient. But I think if you've been a fan long enough, dude, and you just kind of see what's happened over the last couple of years, the way the Raiders this year, we've brought in competent coaches. I think it's going to change. It's starting to change now. So,
if you draft well in 2 years consecutively, I mean, you got to still wait and see with this year's draft. But if we do, there's no way, no how you can languish in mediocrity, right?
Get better at every single position, bro, regardless of the position.
This is the first draft class that I've been super excited about since the one where we had the 3 first rounders.
2019.
Yeah.
Arnett and Ruggs, Jacobs.
Arnett, Ruggs, and Jacobs. Yep.
No. It was Jacobs,
None of them were on our team.
It was Cleve. Oh yeah, it was Cleve Farrell that year. Arnett was the next year after that.
2020.
Ruggs was the first Las Vegas Raider drafted.
Yeah, Matt, let that sit in, bro. That's it. When you think of the Las Vegas Raiders,
that's the last draft class I was really excited about.
He's getting out next year.
I liked Henry Ruggs. I like CeeDee Lamb better, bro.
Hey, you're not gonna like Henry Ruggs when he goes to Kansas City and fucking is a fucking thorn in our side every fucking game.
He better not.
I don't think he deserves to come back in the league. If I'm going to be honest,
I don't either.
He will.
You guys must never heard of Dante Stallworth if you guys don't think Henry Ruggs deserved to come back in the league.
He's got talent and he served his time, bro. He's paid his debt to society. He'll be back.
Dante Stallworth literally killed somebody, bro, drunk driving, and literally played the next weekend of football, bro. So, you know what I'm saying?
Horrible.
And he only had to serve a 1-year suspension after that week, and then came right back to the National Football League. Dante Stallworth was just like Henry Ruggs, bro. Dante Stallworth was another 4.2 guy, bro. Extremely fast for the Cleveland Browns, and he got off with a shake of the stick, dude. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here though. Much love.
My final take: I'm happy with everything this past weekend. So
yeah,
me too. Start.
It could have been worse. I'll leave it like that.
I mean, it could have been the Tyree Wilson draft class all over again.
Yeah.
I shared everybody's link in the chat, man. Go subscribe to my guys, man. For Jeff, for my boy Ern, Alpha Kasi Raider, Nutty Raider Nate, and everybody else who pulled up tonight. You guys have a great one. As always, go Raiders, and we out this bitch. Raiders.
Pete Carroll, their head coach, and it is a pretty familiar face in the NFL. Chip Kelly.
And some other coaching news, guys, and this is a little bit more interesting. The Raiders hired former Ohio State offensive coordinator, college head coach before, Chip Kelly, as their new OC.
I'm excited to see, what that offense looks like this time around in the NFL.
I think that this is going to be a really good shift that I think can really propel this team in a different way that we haven't seen in several years.
But the one thing I know about Chip Kelly, the dude knows how to run an offense. We saw that with Ohio State. We saw what he did with Oregon, and bringing him, that's a massive get. That is a massive get.
Everywhere he has gone has put points on the board. And so I think to have kind of that mad scientist in the lab here with the Raiders, huge W for the Silver and Black.
I've been covering Chip since he was at Oregon. One of the most innovative offensive minds, and he said it. He's like, when Pete Carroll gives you the call, you come.
Now you have Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly. This looks really solid. The foundational base of this particular coaching staff as they're putting it together.
This is one of the most fascinating off seasons that I'm looking forward to. Pete Carroll, John Spytek coming in.
Pete Carroll will be the new voice in Las Vegas. He will be a respected voice in Las Vegas because of all the things that he's already accomplished.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.